who are taking us through the live finals of the athletics track and field events.
Gold medalist representing St. Lucia.
Official sponsor of the South African Olympic and Paralympic teams. Telkom, proud sponsor of Speed.
Former European Junior Championship silver medalist for Ukraine.
Sophie Skuj next up from Sweden. Well, the one thing they've all got fantastic smiles, so this is going to be a great event to watch for the crowd. And this is Mirela Demireva of Bulgaria. 197 this year. She shared the European silver in this year, 2016, with Palsait of Lithuania. Desiree Rosset of Italy, followed by Alexandra Treasure of Canada. Alessia Trost of Italy. Blanka Vlasic of Croatia is next up. 195 this year, but a best of 208 set some time ago. Former world champion from 2007 and 2009. Shante Lowe heads the rankings with 2 meters and 1 this year from the USA. Oh, and yeah, she's going to win the medal because she's dancing and the crowd love it. Well done, Shante. We want to see a bit of samba. Jungfleisch of Germany, Marie Lawrence. 2 meters this year. She's second in the world rankings. Kamila Likwenko of Poland. 199. She's the third lady in the world rankings in 2016. This young lady, this is Morgan Lake of Great Britain, the 19-year-old. She won the high jump and the women's heptathlon at the 2014 Junior Championships. And this is Anika McPherson, the 29-year-old from the USA. Svetlana Redzivil of Uzbekistan. And then last to jump in the competition will be Vashti Cunningham of the USA. She has a best of 199 this year. So that's the list. They'll have to decide whether they start at 188. They'll be talking to the officials who would have already done that and decided when they're going to come into this competition. Starts at 188, progresses by 5 to 193, by 4 to 197, by 3 to 2 meters. And if there's anybody in after that, it will go up in 2 centimeter increments.
Bit of fun and games going on down there on the warm-up track. We told you it was relaxed, and there's the most relaxed of them all. And it's just party time now. It's just time to have some fun. And with his great friend Asafa Powell, the men's 4x100 metres medal ceremony not that far away.
Do you know, there's one thing this guy does better than anybody else, apart from the antics, is he switches off and he switches on very quickly. So, Ruth Beitier, of Spain, she has a first successful clearance and starts the competition with a nice 0, which is what you get when you get a clear height. So, the 37-year-old, fantastic ambassador for the sport and high jump in particular. And that was very comfortable indeed. So this is Laverne Spencer of St. Lucia. Oh, that's not so good. You don't really want to start doing that too soon. You really do have to be focused and can't get distracted, because if you go up the heights and clear it, that one can come back and bite you just like it did in the pole vault yesterday evening. So this is the Lithuanian. Palsaiti, 197 this year. She's 1 meter 87 tall, so a very tall young lady. The 24-year-old from Lithuania goes clear at her first attempt. And this will be fast and furious because there are 17, so it's got to be. But in addition to that, the bar will stay at this height for whoever takes it, and they'll move through them at a pace. So from Ukraine, Gerashenko goes clear. And they have a minute to, once their name comes up on the board, they have a minute to execute their jump. And they've been out there now for a little while, and they just probably want to get a jump under their feet. They just want to start. They're ready to go. So Sophie Skog of Sweden for her first attempt at 188. And you'll also see this self-talking, this sort of preparation, this priming, this getting ready to jump. A lot of the athletes use this technique. Good clearance for her at 188. All the girls so far coming in from that right-hand side of the bed, which means the takeoff foot is the foot furthest away from the bed, which is their left foot. And this is Demireva of Bulgaria. For her first attempt at 1.88 meters. Now, it's a height, really, that these ladies should be expecting to clear. But, as you can see, sometimes we've had two failures now so far. Laverne Spencer from St. Lucia knocked the first height down, and now Demireva has done the same. So next up will be Desiree Rosset of Italy. And sometimes accompanying the self-talk will be some body movements that reflect their run-up. This is a very typical preparation, self-talk, preparation process. Well, that's a failure too, so Rosset will have her second attempt along with two others. And from the information that I have on my information system, it looks like all the ladies are going to be coming in at this height of 188. Treasure of Canada, 24-year-old. Oh, and that's another one down. So we've now had 4 of the ladies who have failed at this opening height of 188. It's a combination of nerves, anticipation, pressure. You can see her puffing out her cheeks there as she walks back and think, oh, blimey, I was hoping that was going to be better than that. This is Trust of Italy. A personal best of 2 meters, 195 in 2016. All of these ladies cleared 194 in the qualifying round. That's a good clearance by Trost, the 23-year-old from Italy. Didn't compete in 2015 in the World Championships, had an injury to her Achilles. So she's obviously now recovered from that. And now first attempt at 188 for Blanka Vlasic of Croatia. Oh, and that's an error by her first attempt at 88. 2 times world champion back in 2007, 2009. But has suffered injuries towards the tail end of her career. So Chanté Lowe of America goes clear, first attempt. Sails over, and she was the one that was dancing, so we can expect good things from Chanté Lowe. The crowd on her side, there's no doubt about that. And this is Marie-Laurence Jungfleisch of Germany. Second in the world rankings in 2016. Comes in on that left-hand side, and an accomplished leap by the German. The 25-year-old goes clear on her first attempt at 188. Next to jump, Litwinko of Poland. Now 30 years of age. She's cleared 199 in 2016. Oh, and that's going to be down 2. So the tall Polish athlete, just catching that bar, high point. Not good enough. And you can see the anxiety written over some of these ladies' faces as they come back off having failed their opening height. Morgan Lake of Great Britain. Just 19 years of age. Good clearance for Lake. That'll certainly ease her nerves now. The dual winner of the World Junior at the World Juniors, winning the heptathlon and the high jump. And now we have Anika McPherson of the USA. She's the shortest in the competition, but my word, she does move pretty quickly and is full of springs in those legs. And that's definitely the fastest we've seen anybody attack the takeoff zone, either in the men's or the women's events. So she goes clear. First attempt, 188 for McPherson of the USA. So 2 more ladies to attempt the opening height. We've got Radzivil of Uzbekistan, and last in the round will be Vashti Cunningham of the USA. Radzivil. Yep, that's a good clearance for her. 188. And to close off the first round and the first attempts, ten have cleared it on their first attempt of the 17th. She's the 17th. And if she goes over, that will be 11. And we'll see the 6 ladies who failed have their second attempts and line up to do so. Slight deceleration as she comes in, this very tall, 1.86 m American, and she goes clear too. So now they can relax a little bit until the bar goes up to 193, 5 centimetre increment, and the ladies who failed will have their second attempts pretty soon.
And the clock is still ticking down to the start of the men's 15, then the women's 8, and then the 5,000 metres. What odds the likes of Dijen Gebri-Meskel or Hagos Gebri-Hewitt denying Mo Farah the double-double. Plenty of expatriated Kenyans represented the United States. Paul Chelimo and also Bernard Lagat at the tender age of 41. He made the team as well. But there's the main man, closing in on a piece of history.
Gold in the 100, gold in the 200, gold in the 4x1 for Usain Bolt in Beijing, London, and now Rio de Janeiro. And he stands there very proudly with his teammates Asafa Powell, Johan Blake and Nickel Ashmead as the gold medalists in the 4x1 relay for men. And we say farewell to the greatest on the Olympic stage.
And down the other end of the arena to the women's high jump, we have the men's javelin. Those javelins all lined up, looking pristine in their stand, ready to get chalked up or some tacky put on them to get some grip. And Andreas Torgersen, the Olympic record holder with 90.57. Are we going to see that threatened tonight? We can see as we're going to introduce now the javelin throwers to the stadium. A list of 12 going up on your screens. Last to throw will be Petra Friedrich of the Czech Republic. First to throw will be Kishorn Woolcock of Trinidad and Tobago, the reigning and defending Olympic champion. So here they are, lined up. They got the drummers. We'll see who dances to a rhythm tonight One or two of them shuffling around, look, can't keep the feet still. Just makes you do it, doesn't it? So, Walcott first up. What can he do in his first throw? Well, in qualifying, he threw 88.65. He goes anywhere near that, everybody's going to be chasing his tail. Johannes Vetter of Germany, the 23-year-old, third ranked in the world this year with 88.23, 85.96 in qualifying. Vladlec of the Czech Republic, 25-year-old, 7th world ranked, coached by Mr. Zalesny. Dmytro Kozinski of the Ukraine. The bronze medalist from 2012, Ante Ruskanen of Finland, hoping to represent and win for the Finnish nation. The tradition says that he must be in with a chance. Vasile of the Czech Republic, 2013 world champion. From Germany, Julian Weber, the 21-year-old, 84.46 first throw. Boots off in the qualifying on that first throw. And here's the reigning world champion, Julius Yego. Taught himself how to throw better by watching and studying the YouTube channel. Fantastic. He's great to watch. Qualified with his last throw. Thomas Rohler of Germany. He heads the world rankings in 2016 with 91.28. Rayan Toledo, the young Argentinian, 12th in qualifying. Then we have Ryohei Arai of Japan, 11th up, and then last to throw, Petra Friedrich of the Czech Republic. And the drummers drum on, and now it's down to business for the javelin throwers. Walcott, the defending champion, drawn first, and he'll go first in that event. So, Chantelot, first attempt, 193. Good clearance for her, the American, going very well indeed, smiling. And, of course, she was the only one really to dance to those drummers. So she's ahead of the field with the support she's getting from the stand, and she just keeps smiling. We love it. Chantelot clear at 193.
Caster Semenya prowling, watching and waiting. The overwhelming favourite for the women's 800-metre Olympic title, but Mel Bishop will certainly fancy. She's been running well enough this year to get in the mix for a medal. But you suspect they'll have to do something very special to dethrone Caster.
Walcott first up in the javelin. Defending champions, the first off. Well, it's not as good as his first round qualifying throw. Left shoulder went away, he says to coach. Probably agree with that, as a Cuban coach. Lines it up, and then just watch that left shoulder. Yes, it does, doesn't it? In the first round of the qualifying, he just stood up really tall, and he went up over 88 metres, as easy as easy. That's below 85, but not a bad start. 83.45 for the defending champion in the first round. Next up is Johannes Vetter, 23-year-old German, the first of the three Germans to get his feet on the runway. Well, he's the first to encroach over that 85-metre line. Lines it up very nicely. Look at that point. Stays by the side of his head. Went away a fraction, but he stood up really tall on the delivery end of that throw. And if he can just keep that javelin closer to his head, we'll have it go down the centre of the sector as opposed just out to the right. Plenty of room to stop. 85.32. Vetter takes the lead after just two throws in the competition, with a very good throw for the German. Following him onto the runway is 25-year-old Czech Republic athlete Vadlec, 87.20 in 2016. One or two similarities to his coach, Mr. Zalesny, as he pierces the 80-metre line with just a little bit of rotation around at the back. You can see that hand here, takes it back, disappears around the back. You can see that hand from that angle. And then you've got to get it back round into position. And not quite getting the refinement that you need for that to happen as well as he would like to. It's going to be around 80 metres. Well, look at that, 80.02. So he just goes over the 80-metre line. He's going to have to improve on that to get into the top 8.
And now to the final of the men's 1,500 metres. The blue ribboned event of the Games. Some magnificent names have come here and conquered. Sebastian Coe, so far, is the only two-time Olympic champion. Moscow and LA. And in this field we have two athletes bidding to join him. Asbel Kiprop, who took the gold in Beijing, and the Algerian Taoufik Makhloufi, who scorched to a brilliant win 4 years ago. He put in a blistering 200 metres on the last lap that decimated the rest of the field. He's in this one and he's looking sharp. There's David Bustos on the outside. He's been added to this field after being tripped and promoted to the final. Big occasion this for the European silver medalist. Ronald Quemoy, one of the top 10 fastest athletes in history and still only 20. He won the Monaco Diamond League. Ben Blankenship, he says, hey, I like to stand out a little bit. I'm old school, loving the 70s look. Third in the US Championships, indoor and out. He's a big talent. So's this guy, Nick Willis. His third consecutive final, got a silver in Beijing, and even though he's getting on in the years, he still looks sharp. Nate Brennan, no Canadian medal in this event since 1932. He's been in two semis before. This is his first final. Charlie Grice got down to 3:33, setting a PB in Monaco. Can he produce some great exploits to match those of his British predecessors? There's the defending Olympic champion. Silver in the 8. He is so astute tactically. If he's in it with 300 to go, you can't rule out a double victory. Ryan Gregson of Australia. Semi-finalist 4 years ago. He's had a marvellous season. Ronald Musagala, Commonwealth finalist 2 years ago. He's improved so much since then. Great to have the Ugandan nation represented here in the final. Matti Centrovits, the world indoor champion, twice a medalist in the World Championship outdoor at this event, but never an Olympic medal. Is this his day? And what about this enigma? The third fastest man in history, the champion in Beijing, the three-time world champion, and arguably the favourite tonight if he gets the tactics right. Abdelati Aguida was the toast of Morocco 4 years ago when he got the bronze. It was their only medal of the Games. Bronze again behind Kiprop last year. And on the inside, representing Djibouti, he's looked sharp. He hasn't raced that much this season, but when he has, he's made it count. 3:31 plus change. So, Asbel Kiprop aiming for a slice of history here. This is the final of the men's 1,500 metres. So, will it be a tactical start? It appears so. Bustos has gone out to the front with Matti Centrovits on his shoulder and Blankenship also there. And already they're playing into the hands of the sprint finishers. And as if to bear fruit to that argument, Asbel Kiprop right off the back, not interested. Aguida just ahead of him, Suleiman on the curve. Makhloufi's tucked in on the inside. And for men of their class, this is an absolute jog at the moment.
Interesting to note that Nick Willis is up in the middle of the pack. There he is on the left of your picture. Now, normally he likes to run smothered up on the inside. He's got himself into a position where he's a little wider out, but they are doing little more than walking down as they come past the judge with 3 laps to go. Kiprop at the back of the field, content to sit back there. McCluffy's found himself in the middle of the field. Gregson, the Australian, the first Australian in a 1,500 metres final in 40 years, is poised behind Centrowitz as they go through the first lap. They certainly have not broken any records. 66.83.
It's absolutely pedestrian here, and this is playing into the hands of those who like it run in exactly this fashion. Among those is Taufik McCluffy. He's quite happy treating this as a 2-lap warm-up for a 400-metre sprint to the line, and you can see him getting sandwiched there between Brennan on the inside and Musagala on his outside. This is absolutely pedestrian by the quality that these men can produce at speed if they need to. We've got 4 of the top 10 fastest men in history, and this is a pace that they wouldn't even dream of doing. Oh, and there's a faller, it's Quemoy. And that's what happens. And even Asbel Kiprop there gets his heels clipped. And that's what can happen when it's too slow. And I think they'll begin to speed up. Ronald Quemoy, the 8th fastest athlete in history, dropped off the back there. But because it's so slow, he's been able to get back to that group. But they all need to watch their feet here because it can so often happen when they're running this tight.
69.77 for the next lap. Now they're starting to roll along a little bit. Suleiman's getting interested in getting up to the front of the race. Nick Willis hasn't had the best of luck, but now he's got himself behind the leader on the plinth in 3rd. That's the way he likes to run. After making that run, Kiprop has now been shuffled right out the back of the field, and he finds himself with only 3 behind him. Gregson is one of them, and let's have a look for McCluffy. He's getting to the outside with about 5 behind him.
And Asbel Kiprop has found himself off the pace here. He's got to be really careful, because this is the kind of race where upsets can happen. Oh. They take the bell, and there's all sorts of shoving and barging going on. It's McCluffy trying to run wide on the outside. Centrowitz leads. Is this his day to produce a glorious moment for the United States? Igida's right there. So too McCluffy. And Asbel Kiprop now coming up onto the shoulder of the leaders. Centrowitz and Kiprop. And now the field beginning to spread. 200 metres to go. Kiprop is poised to strike. He's put himself in the right place, but there are real sprinters outside him. This isn't over yet. Centrowitz desperate to get a first Olympic medal, but McCluffy's coming on the outside. Asbel Kiprop's tying up. It's not going to be Kiprop's day. Centrowitz can sense glory, but McCluffy's coming. Can he hang on? Centrowitz is the Olympic champion. McCluffy the silver. And bronze, can you believe it, to Nick Willis of New Zealand. Centrowitz has damaged the field there with an incredible last lap. He went so early. Asbel Kiprop, the overwhelming favourite, was right on his shoulder, and he has done it. What an incredible, incredible victory there for Matti Centrowitz. The last American winner was over a century ago, and somewhere in the stands, his father will be in tears. These are the moments these men dream of. Kiprop had his day in Beijing, but that was 8 years ago. He put himself in the right place, but he couldn't strike. And even McCluffy, after that silver in the 8, couldn't quite get past Matthew Centrowitz. His dream has come true. He is the Olympic 1,500-metre champion.
And can you believe it? Their official time is 24 seconds outside the world record. That is how pedestrian the pace was. And Centrowitz ran it from the front of the race. And he said, well, I've got a kick finish, just as you guys have. It looked as though it was going to be keen early on when a couple came out, including the Spaniard Bustos. But then down went Quemoy, and the pace was so slow that he was able to get himself back on within about the space of 40 metres. But it really got keen just towards the bell. McCluffy and Kiprop had a shoving match as they came down with a lap to go. But look at Centrowitz. He held his form so well. It was the great champion in Kiprop, who looked as though he might be the danger as they went down the back straight. McLuffy had a bit of a kick, and it seemed as though he might run over the American. Willis gets out late, but he's done it at both ends, Centrowitz, and he deserves the gold medal.
It's a brilliant, brave bid for glory when you've got so much quality queuing up for a sprint finish behind you. He just missed a medal 4 years ago in London and was bitterly disappointed. He set himself up for a great season, winning the world indoors on home turf in Portland, and he was razor sharp in that run. I was there to watch. But McLuffy and Kiprop both had their chances to create history there and joined Seb Coe as double winners. They were both in exactly the right place, but come the moment, they did not have the strength to live with Matti Centrowitz. Two incredible athletes to beat. He has earned his place in Olympic history, the American.
So the reigning world champion from Beijing, Julius Yego of Kenya, for his first round. Fantastic lineup. Oh, he's got hold of that. Oh, it's just below 90 metres. That's over 88 metres for the Kenyan. And he'll take the lead so far with 3 or 4 more to throw in the first round. Look at the lineup of that javelin. It doesn't move an inch. He dives to the floor. That javelin, carbon fibre javelin. Let's have a look at this. What great action. Strikes over the top. Falls, obviously, after he's let go. Otherwise, he would hurt himself. 88-24 for Yego, the reigning world champion. And to follow him on the run-up is the 24-year-old German Thomas Roller, who leads the world rankings with 91.28 this year. It's a very good lineup. He juggles that javelin around a little bit as he's running in, but it's lined up. It's just short of Yego's throw, but it's pretty good for the 24-year-old German. It's not going to be 88 metres, but it's not going to be far off that. Great control at the end of the runway there as he blocks with that left foot, stops and then follows through here. You'll see, stops, hip in, over the top and stop just before the line. Great pictures. 87.40 to take second in the first round. Wow, javelin came alight in those 2 rounds.
With 150 to go, it looked like it was destined to be either Kiprop or McLuffy's day. Not so, said the American, who found himself in dreamland as he looked up at the big screen. Matthew Centrowitz is the Olympic champion by 11/100ths of a second. McLuffy the silver this time, and Willis a brilliant bronze to go with his silver from 8 years ago. And no place on the podium for either of the Kenyans. Kiprop ran out of it, and Quemoy couldn't recover from that fall.
Last lap was 50.62, and they went through 1,200 metres in 3:12, and the world record for 1,500 metres is 3:26. Now look at this. This is Usain Bolt and Mo Farah down there on the warm-up track, and you could hear Usain, Mo, Mo. Well, there were some great moments, of course, as they exchanged their gestures in London at the end of that competition. And the great champion who's done the triple-triple, just wishing Mo well in his quest for the double-double.
Desiree Rosset coming in for a third attempt at 193. She fails this, she'll be out. She cleared 188 on her second jump. So this jump, she's either in or she's out. Oh, no. Rosset of Italy, the 22-year-old, is out of the competition at 1.93 meters. So it's tough at the top, and these ladies in this high jump all went over eventually 1.88 meters. So 17 went through to the next height of 1.93 meters. And we've lost Desiree Rosset out of the competition, out of the high jump. Second round throw for Woolcott. He's currently in 4th position with that 83.45 first round throw. What can he do now on his second attempt? Well, it's over 85. It's a slight improvement for Woolcott. It's not going to threaten the lead, though, at the moment. Looked as though he got a little too close into the line there, chopped his strides, nice into that point, but then not really covering the ground. And you can see him have a quick look down to see where he was on the foul line. So he just needs to do what he did in qualifying, which is just open up a little bit, relax. 85-38. And he does look in very good shape, the man from Trinidad and Tobago.
And now, what is likely to be one of the most talked about races of the Olympic Games, the women's 800 metres final. Caster Semenya of South Africa, the hot favourite, a little bit later on. Bernard Lagat and Mo Farah, two great champions, will go head-to-head, and they'll have a few with them in the men's 5,000 metres. That is coming up shortly. Jarmila Kratok-Vilova has the world record at 800 metres at 1:53.28, and that was set back 33 years ago. Is it going to be in jeopardy here? Here's the start list for the final of the women's 800 metres. No doubt most of the attention will be on the young woman from South Africa, Caster Semenya. But let's meet the athletes now before the start of one of the more prestigious events at any Olympic Games. The 800 metres always brings out the quality athletes. And here's one. Marina Azamasova of Belarus, 28 years of age, the 2015 world champion. Her late mother still holds the Belarus 800-metre record. Lindsay Sharp of Great Britain at 26 has got silvers in both the Commonwealth Games and the European Championships in 2014. She's a three-time UK champion. This young lady has been in superb form this year and this series. Melissa Bishop of Canada, silver in the 2015 World Championships, where she ran a 2-second PB in the semi-finals, three-time Canadian champion. There's Francine Niyonsaba of Burundi at 20 years of age, world indoor champion this year, 6th in London. If there is to be a danger to Semenya, it may be Margaret Wambui of Kenya, just 20 years of age, world junior champion of 2014, bronze at the World Indoors this year. But here's the woman the eyes of the world are on, 25-year-old Caster Semenya of South Africa, the 2009 world champion, silver in London 4 years ago. Can she go one better in Rio? We know that Joanna Jozwik of Poland is probably going to race from the back here, so she'll want a quick pace all the way. Bronze at the 2014 European Championships. And from the inside position, Kate Grace from the USA, the US champion this year, 27 years of age. Her mother is US fitness guru Kathy Smith, who has sold millions in her career. Will Kate be able to join her in the Fame Stakes tonight? The women's 800 in Rio. Off they go. Semenya making a statement of intent in the first few metres. Gets up alongside Wambui. Jozwik doesn't want to be as far back as she was in the semis. She's only got Grace behind her at the moment. No one really interested in leading here. Niyonsaba is looking for Semenya to come through on her inside. Mel Bishop is trapped a little deep at the moment. Lindsay Sharp's off the track. Azamasova is off the track. They're not breaking any records. Semenya's had to go to the front. Wambui gets up 6th on the inside. Grace drops out 2nd last. And Jozwik is last. Not much pace on. And Semenya something of a surprise leader.
She looks very, very comfortable, as she has done all season. And she's become the all-round package, Semenya. She's running really well over the 15 and the 400 metres, but so too is the big, powerful Kenyan Wambui, now moving up on the outside. They're beginning to queue up, but Semenya just still holds the inside line, 57.5. And this could be Semenya's day as she begins to wind it up. She's got Niyonsaba for company, and now they're beginning to spread out as Wambui tries to get ahead of Lindsay Sharp into 5th. And look at the young athlete from Burundi. She's taking it to Semenya. She's determined to have a go.
Niyonsaba has got out about 2 metres in front. Semenya is being very patient, though. Mel Bishop also running a patient race. And now they've got Asamasova between them, and Wambui gets to the outside. So Semenya is going to have to peel off the back of Niyonsaba shortly. She does that now. She's normally got a devastating kick when she goes, and go she does. And she goes from 2 metres behind to 2 metres in front at the top of the lane. Semenya running for gold now in front of Niyonsaba and Bishop and Wambui, but she's left the others in her wake. And Caster Semenya is going to do what most people thought she would do in the 800, and she runs away and wins it brilliantly. In second placing Niyonsaba, the bronze goes to Wambui in front of Bishop. Then Josvik, Sharp, Grace and Asamasova finished at the tail of the field. She has destroyed them in the last 200 metres, and that was the way that a lot of people thought she would become the Olympic champion.
Well, all credit to Francine Niyonsaba. She richly deserves that silver medal, because to go ahead of an athlete that you know is in the shape of her life, and we all know Semenya is running really well. She's just snipped a couple of tenths off her own PB, which is, of course, a new national record for South Africa.
And that's our very own Caster Semenya running a 1:55.28. Arno, having run 1:55.45, what's your thoughts on this gold medal?
Well, it's a great race by Caster. You could see from the first lap she wasn't really interested in that world record. 57 seconds through 400 metres. Niyonsaba tried. I mean, the commentator said that Niyonsaba really gave her a go. And going into the second lap down the back straight, for a second there, it looked like Caster was just slowing down. But you could see, actually, she was very comfortable looking around still. And when she came into the final straight, she gave the clock a quick look and then just ran away from the rest of them. And a new national record for South Africa. Like we said, she probably wouldn't go for that world record, but she did get the national record. And in the end, very comfortable and a great margin of victory. And then the other two, as we expected, Niyonsaba, Wambui coming through for silver and bronze. I'm surprised Wambui didn't run a bit better, but she started very slow as well. And Bishop there for the fourth place. But easy for Caster. The fastest time in the world this year, new national record, and another gold medal for South Africa.
I was sitting here with Geraldine yesterday. I think we're expecting so much now from our athletes that you get a gold and you're like, it could have been a world record. Because weight's gotten us so used to unnecessary expectations. So you just sitting there like, maybe it could have been a world record.
Well, weight set the bar, I guess. And then look at that, the whole field under 2 minutes, which is amazing.
That's incredible.
But the difference there was, as we said, Wade van Niekerk ran to win. He didn't run to get a world record. It was a bonus. For Caster to get the world record, she would have actually had to target it and go out by herself from the bell. And also the first lap was a little bit too slow. First 200 was spot on, and then they slowed down a little bit. So she never targeted the world record from the beginning. You could see the gold medal was the thing she wanted. She wanted to make sure of that. And of course, like we said earlier, trying to get the world record could have put that gold medal at risk. So I think a sensible decision by her and a good race. And also there's a bit of strapping there on her left ankle, so you don't know if she is injured or not, which could also influence that world record bid.
All right, let's leave it there with Arno Malabra's analysis in studio. Back to our commentators in Brazil.
הגובה הבא הוא יהיה הגובה המכריע.
Fast into the curve, off the curve, and that's nailed. She goes clear. She had a first-time failure at the opening height of 188. Went clear second, and then she's gone clear at 93 and now 97 on her first attempts. Very close as she skims over the bar. It wobbles, but it stays there.
And now we come to the presentation for what was a fabulous warm-up for the Bolt finish last night. The women's 4x1. Well, there was drama before it even started. Adam Pengilly, IOC member for Great Britain. He is a very, very passionate supporter of all that the Olympic movement stands for. Great moment for him. And Mr. Victor Lopez Rivera, IAAF Council member. Well, it was dramatic, this race, because after the running of the heats, it looked like the Americans were out, but they were given that opportunity to do a time trial on their own to try and beat the time of the team occupying the fastest loser spot, which was China. There was a lot of talking about it afterwards. The Americans smashed 42.70. They did have to win it from lane 1, which is tight for some of their taller girls, but they did it in style. But the British quartet sealed a memorable bronze medal, their nation's first in this event since way back in LA in '84. They've been putting together some great performances this year. European silver, then a new national record in the Diamond League at London, and they were up against the two traditional powerhouse nations in Jamaica and the United States. But what a moment for Asher Phillip, Desiree Henry, Dina Asher-Smith and Daryl Nieta. Dina making the 200 final, missing out on a medal, but what a final it was. And she'll have her day once again in the future. They said they've been working on their exchanges and getting together for sessions since January. Practice pays off. It's not just about the speed, it is about the teamwork, it is about the exchanges and remembering the rules. And they did absolutely everything right there. You cannot ask any more of an individual athlete or a team than a personal best or a national record. Absolutely brilliant. And they'll be hoping their longer relay compatriots will be doing similar glorious deeds in the women's 4x4 to come later on this evening. But a brilliant bronze. And a little shake there from Asher Phillip. You go, girl. They look delighted with that, and they should be. A fantastic run from the Britons. Wow. What an array of talent from Jamaica. Christiania Williams on the far side, the smallest of the four. And the two women who ran third and fourth, Veronica Campbell-Brown and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. So Christiania Williams just being given her medal there. Elaine Thompson, what a games it's been for the Jamaican. Double gold in the 1 and the 2, even beating Daphne Skippers in the 2. And now finishing with a relay silver. And speaking about finishing with a relay silver, Veronica Campbell-Brown started her international career in Sydney, can you believe, 16 years ago with, yes, you've guessed it, a 4x1 relay silver. And Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, twice an individual champion over the 1. No surprise that she relinquished her title to her compatriot Elaine Thompson. She should be proud of her individual bronze. She'd had an injury-ravaged season. But certainly Veronica Campbell-Brown signing off her Olympic career in style after those two individual 200s as well. Remember, great runs in Athens and Beijing, denying Felix in those half-lap races. The Jamaicans happy enough with silver. And sometimes maybe the athletics gods just align for you. And that must be the case for the Americans. They were devastated when it looked like they were missing out. But now they do get their moments on top spot once again. And just as the Jamaicans have some individual brilliance up here, so too do the Americans. Tiana Bartoletta, a tiny powerhouse and a brilliant long jumper. Relay gold to go along with that great win she had in the field event earlier this week. And English Gardner, Tori Bowie, Alison Felix, and also Moralake Akinusun. 5 medals because they did swap it around from the heats to the final. Alison Felix has collected her 5th gold medal and has a chance for a 6th in the women's 4x4. And that is the reason that she's not on the podium with her compatriots. She's getting ready for the 4x4. And what an incredible end it would be to her campaign here in Rio if she did produce the longer sprint relay gold. She did that in London, won the 2 and the 4x1 and the 4x4. So gold and the glory belonged to the United States. Once again, they have bragging rights over their great rivals, the Jamaicans, for another 4 years. And how proud these women will be now as they turn to hear their national anthem booming out in this atmospheric, state-of-the-art Olympic stadium. Well, in the absence of their teammate Alison Felix, they gave that a pretty good go, singing along with the national anthem. Felix will be going through her preparation for the women's 4x4. And just a reminder, we've got the men's 5,000 metres coming up, and then the two 4x4s, the women's and the men's. Gradually, we're winding up to a finish here, and what a memorable week it's already been.
Second attempt coming up for the former world champion, Blanka Vlasic of Croatia. She's fouled each height so far on her first attempt, then cleared it on her second. Can she do it again? Yes, she does. And you can see what it means to her. But Ruth Baitier of Spain has cleared every height first time so far. And if it were to end now, she would win the gold medal. I don't want to give her the commentator's curse. But Vlasic goes clear on her second attempt. She's limping. That doesn't look too good. She looks as though she's got a bit of discomfort there. Meanwhile, at the other end, Ruskinen struggling there, 77.81. He's well down the field with his third throw. Can he make the cut? Oh, and I think he will with that. He's given himself a chance. Puff of the cheeks. Weber from Germany currently lies in 8th position, but this man was behind him. He was well off the pace until this throw. Now he stood up on the end of that, and that flat flight takes him out way over 80 metres, below 83.05. He leaps into 6th place, and now that means Weber, who follows in a little while, is now out of the top 8. And it does look as if Vlasic has a problem, potentially with a takeoff foot. We've seen wonders so far, people looking as if they've got problems. I'm thinking of Mayer, the Frenchman, who dropped out, or looked as though he was dropping out of the high jump, came back and jumped even higher. So it's not out the question.
Here comes a big moment right now, mainly because of that man just jogging past the camera. Mo Farah, the defending champion from London in both the 5,000 and 10,000. He has already defended his Olympic championship at 10,000 metres, and the crowd, plenty of them, Brits, getting right behind him for what could be an historic moment. Is he going to walk in the footsteps of the great Lassie Viren? We're about to find out.
Well, Thomas Roller lining up. If we go live to the javelin now, because this is starting to move towards the end of the third round. Diego, who throws before this man has passed, he still leads with 88.24, that first round throw by the Kenyan. This young man, Roller, 87.41 on his first round, and he's in 2nd place at the moment. Third throw. Well, it's long, it's over 85 metres, And the German coach is in the stand there. Mutual respect with these throwers. Great control by the 24-year-old German. He leads the world with 91.28 so far this year. That first white line there, that is the lead at 88. So it's just below 88 meters. 87.07. So what a great series that is. But he stays in silver medal position after his third throw.
Kenenisa Bekele has the world record and the Olympic record. 12.37, a remarkable time. The Olympic record 12.57. That's a chance of going here, but it'll need to be a faster run race than it was in London, where Gebre Meskel was the silver medalist. Mo Farah was the champion. Bernard Lagat has been going around in these things for as long as he cares to remember, but I'm sure his heart is still racing. Two other Ethiopians, and Edris and Gebremet in the field. The young man from Uganda, Cheptegei, what a story that is, just 19 years of age. And so it's a matter of whether Mo Farah can do it again. Ethiopia has won this event 3 times. The most recent was Kenenisa Bekele in 2008. Here's the field now. Mead goes from the outside. He was instated in the field. There is Gebremet, silver in 2013, bronze in 2015 at the World Championships. Brett Robinson, the Australian, beside him, a finalist in the World Championships in 2013. The 19-year-old from Uganda. Then we go to Butchart of Great Britain, Andrew Butchart, 24 years of age. There's Edris, Mukhtar Edris, 22 years of age. World's fastest time at this distance in 2014. Across to the great Bernard Lagat, the oldest American ever to run at the Olympic Games. And there is the champion, Mo Farah. Plenty of his supporters in the stadium tonight. Ahmed of Canada goes inside him. Then Gallant of the Republic of South Africa. Chalimo, ex-Kenya, third at the US trials, representing the US of A now. And the silver medalist from London in Gebre Meskel. Dayan Gebre Meskel. 3 Ethiopians. Are they going to gang up on Mo? We'll find out. He stands on the doorstep of history. The 5,000 metres in Rio. He's already done it in the 10, as he did in London. Can he double up again? And Mo content to stand at the start and just drop to the back, as he so often does, and let them sort themselves out and find out who's going to be where. And it is Edris of Ethiopia who is going to be the first of the runners from that nation. Gebre Meskel is the second of them. And just to identify the other one, Gebremet, he's got back to 4th last. Mo Farah is behind him at the moment. And they are sorting themselves out, with Lagat finding himself in about 5th spot. Already they're clipping heels. Second and third runners actually clipped some heels there as they went on the turn out of the straight. And they're just starting to string out a little bit, but Mo's quite content to sit back there and sit in last place and sort himself out.
He just needs to be a little bit careful here, because it's Gebri Hewitt leading. And remember, he got a silver in Moscow and a bronze behind Mo in Beijing. So it's Gebri Hewitt, and they're not hanging around. 62 plus change, so they're running inside 13-minute pace here, and Mo just doesn't want this gap to get any bigger. He's keeping his eye on this. Obviously not a problem at this early stage, but this is a different and definite tactical move here by the Ethiopians. They don't want to make this pedestrian. They feel that the better chance they've got of beating Mo is if they've run some of the sting out of that lightning-quick finish.
So Gebremet it is from Gebre Meskel, and Idris now starting to improve his position as he gets up through the middle of the pack.
Trost in the high jump. That's her third attempt in the high jump. This is Shante Lowe of the USA, third attempt in the high jump. If she doesn't get there, she's out. Oh, she clears it. So Shante Lowe puts her arms up and celebrates. How close did she go to going out, the number 1 ranked high jumper in the world in 2016? Comes around tight on that curve, just clears it, touches it, but goes clear on her third attempt at 1 metre 97. Next to jump is Marie-Laurence Jungfleisch of Germany. Third attempt at 1 metre 97. Comes in off the curve. Oh, no! No pace, no real pace, and she goes out. Jungfleisch out of the high jump.
Mo Farah's seen the Ethiopians get themselves organised here, and it's Gebra Witt and Gebra Meskel in front. Idris has got himself up into 6th place, so Mo is countered by getting up into the middle of the field, and if they're going to run as a trio in front, he doesn't want to be too far away from them. Chalimo is the man from the United States in 3rd place at the moment, and then comes the young Ugandan who is running so bravely in Cheptegei, just 19 years of age. He ran a terrific race in the 10,000 metres. Then Butchart. Mo Farah's on the back of his compatriot, and they're starting to roll along a little bit because they're getting some gaps in the field. Brett Robinson of Australia has dropped towards the back of the field. Torrance is back there with him, and they're finding themselves some 30 metres off the lead, and Osman is the trailer. Only 20 metres covers the field. It's Ethiopia 1-2, United States 3. Mo Farah edging up, is now in about 7th place.
That was quite sensible from Mo Farah, because the gap from first to last was sizable, because they had an early pace of around 62, 63. It's settled down a little bit, but they're still running inside 13.10 pace, and what that tells you is that they are definitely trying to make sure that they don't play into his hands. That's why they feel he's won so many global titles in recent years, and Mo now has moved ahead of Andrew Butchart. He's in that white strip, that distinctive long loping stride. He's got Mukhtar Idris, the brilliant Ethiopian cross-country runner, just in front of him, and he's close enough here that if either Gebri Hewitt and Gebri Meskel decide to go for another injection, Farah is in the right place to cover it. He's aiming for a truly historical moment here. Not for 40 years have we seen anybody do the double-double. But you don't win gold medals at the Olympic Games without a real battle on your hands. And the Ethiopians, without doubt, have come up with a plan, and they are determined that this time it is they who will conquer here over 5,000 metres.
They went through the first kilometre in 2:37.40, and they're lapping around 63. So it's not breakneck and it's not pedestrian, and they are doing some turns up the front, and it's Gebra Witt now who takes the lead from Gebra Meskel. Chalimo's getting a nice look at them. He's been very comfortable so far. Now Mo's just going to go up past the third of the Ethiopians in Idris. He doesn't want to let them dominate, and the young man is running so maturely in Cheptegei, saw what Mo was doing and thought, well, if he thought that's a good idea, then I think it's a good idea too. And he's got himself up to Farah's shoulder now. It is Rop, the man from Bahrain, who's up in 4th place up ahead of them. Now Idris drops back to midfield on the inside. Legat's behind him. Gallant of South Africa is with Legat for company. Butchart, and then Mead, and then Ahmed, and then Robinson as they come down once again with 7 laps left to go. So we're in for a kick finish, a bit like London, not the fast run race, but Mo got it done in London. Is this playing into his hands here?
Well, if it does come down to the last couple of laps, Dijen Gebri Meskel is determined that he doesn't start hearing the bell from a position of being boxed in. He and Mo Farah both ran the last lap in London in exactly the same time, but he lost crucial moments trying to move wide and get himself into a good position. Excellent run by the Scotsman Andrew Butchart at the moment, but it's still the two Ethiopians setting the pace here in the early stages.
Beita, first attempt at 2 metres. 4 remaining in the high jump. It's going to happen at 2 metres. You get a feeling the medals could well be decided. That's her first failure for the Spaniard.
And so they have still maintained much the same order, although Mo, for a moment, got himself in on the plinth on the inside and then thought not necessarily the place to be. He's almost going to roll back there now, but he's quite content for Legat to occupy that position inside him. It's the taller of the two Ethiopians, Gebra Witt, who leads Gebra Meskel. Rop up in 3rd place. doing it comfortably. Chilimo's look very comfortable. The young man from Uganda, Cheptegei, looking really strong in 5th place at the moment. Butchard's got up ahead of Mo Farah, so again, the two Brits racing together. Legat is on the inside of Gellant, and then Edris. And now they're coming off the back straight, and they're starting to roll along a little bit in front, and it's Gebre Meskel, the man who's got to the front, and now his compatriot has dropped back to 4th. Now, this is interesting to see whether he'll be able to keep it going. And the others getting just a little bit more interested behind, and Mo's certainly getting interested. He's got to the outside, and he's going to ease himself up into 2nd place as they come down now. Once again, over the stripe, it's Ethiopia leading Great Britain, 5 laps to go.
Another smart move by Mo Farah. I'm not sure whether Gebre Hiwot has got a problem. He may well do. He's drifted back towards the centre of that pack, and I wondered momentarily whether he was dropping back for tactical reasons to see where Farah was, but I'm not sure he'd go that far back, and he's just giving one or two of the others a shove in the back, and now Farah leads. And the two Ethiopians, well, there's all sorts of elbows flying there because they've drifted back in the pack, and the Ethiopians are causing mayhem in that pack there. Farah's doing the sensible thing here. He does not want to get in a position where he falls as he did in the 10,000 metres. So whatever the Ethiopians have tried, they have not followed it through with conviction, and they've allowed Farah to get back to exactly the position that he wants to be in, which is at the front, controlling the pace and out of trouble.
And now Edris is the first of the Ethiopians, so he's come from back in the field. Gebre Meskel is the second of the Ethiopians. And Gebrewet, well, he has been a bit of a moving obstacle in the last lap or so. Mo Farah, in the meantime, deciding to stay out of trouble, goes up to the lead, and he can run his own race from there with Rop on his right shoulder. Chilimo's had a beautiful run. He hasn't had to do a thing. He's got a lovely drag along. Edris up into 3rd placing now. Cheptegei outside Butchart. Mead from the USA on the inside. Then it's Gebre Meskel. Legat's behind him. And looking for the other runners, Brett Robinson of Australia has dropped to the back of the field, and the man behind him is Torrance. But Mo is doing it for the front in his quest for history. He leads Rop and Cheptegei in the men's 5,000 metres in Rio.
They're playing into his hands. It didn't look as though that was their tactic at the beginning of the race, but this will be exactly what Farah wanted. Andrew Butchart coming wide on the outside. The Scot now level with his fellow Briton, because he knows that in the not too distant future it will start getting very, very quick, and if they go and you're stuck on the inside, you can lose a valuable 5 or 10 metres. That's what cost Tejan Gebre Meskel the chance of Olympic glory against Farah 4 years ago. So many times Farah has won from exactly this position. It's not over, far from it, but he's giving himself a wonderful opportunity here to achieve something that hasn't been done in the Olympic context for 40 years.
He looks so comfortable out in front. Remember the last lap he was able to run in the Diamond League race in London. It was just blowing the clock apart in the last lap. So somebody's needing to do something here if they're going to roll over the top of him. Farah's calling the tune and he's dictating it at the moment. Cheptegei, the youngster, goes up outside him. Edris now trying to make some sort of impression up near the front of the race. Rop and Chilimo are next. Legat has run a very solid tactical race. It's going to be a kick home, though. Is he going to have the legs? Mead is next. And over on the inside, Ahmed is in the first half dozen or so. Butchart has dropped back now into the middle of the field. The Ethiopians, well, 2 of them are a long way back. Gebre Meskel, at least he's in clear air. He's on the outside of Gebrewet, but they've got probably about 5 metres to make up from Mo as they head down the back once again.
And they all know what's coming. Mo and Musagala, this brilliant young Ugandan in the yellow, just beginning to wind it up a little bit. We haven't said much about the Americans. Bernard Legat on the right of picture there, the veteran at 41 years of age, just having to move wide on the outside to get himself in the right position. And it's Legat who's moving through the field. You can see him now running wide. Mo Farah from Musagala. But all the speed merchants are queuing up, and the 2 Ethiopians tripped over each other's heels here. This is where the gold could be won or lost. This is the finish we were so desperate to see, and it's going to come down to a last lap between Farah and Hagos Gebrehiwit in second place. And crucially there, Farah has managed to hold the inside line. It's his chance for glory.
And that was what happened with the bell at London. It was Gebrehiwit who declared it on and tried to run to Farah, and that's what he's trying to do down the back straight. Chalimo also trying to go with them. Ahmed is next. Mo looks very comfortable though. He's got a metre on his main Ethiopian rival. Chalimo, can he get off the inside or will he continue to persevere there? Ahmed is next. It's Mo Farah in front as they come to the top of the straight in the 5,000 metres. History is beckoning. Chalimo comes to the outside. He's going to be the danger. Mo's gritting his teeth. He's looking around. He's got Chalimo beaten and he's walking in the footsteps of the great man from all those years ago. Farah wins. Chalimo gets second. And it was Gebrehiwit who finished up in third place on the line. Mo Farah does the double-double after Usain did the triple-triple. It looked as though he had them covered, and that was the way it proved. 13:03.30. He does walk in the footsteps of the great Lassie Viren.
And we're just looking at Elroyd Gallant, who really gave his all. Unfortunately, not coming right at the top there, but what a race this was for him.
Yeah, Elroyd would never have the sprint finish to keep up with the Mo Farah, and you could see that he tried to hang on for as long as he could, and then 2 laps to go, they started dropping him a bit off the back, and then with 1 lap to go, when this big sprint finish started, Elroyd just didn't have the legs to go with him. He ran about 13:17, which is not terrible. It's quite a good time. In fact, it's probably up there with the top 5 times ever run by a South African. But Mo Farah, yeah, just too good. We were talking about tactics and what the guys could do to beat Mo Farah. And I think I told you I don't think any tactic they try would beat him. And it seemed to be that way. He was just so comfortable all the way through, coming back to that sprint finish at the end. Chalimo tried. But Mo does the double-double and equals Lassie Viren.
Really incredible. I mean, he strides right at the final lap. I just don't understand. It's incomprehensible.
Well, you see, he did what Asbel Kiprop should have done in that 1500, because if it's off a fast pace, the guys like Mo and Kiprop have very, very fast kicks. When you slow the pace down enough, like in that 1500, then it becomes a complete lottery. And Mo Farah never allowed that. When he felt the pace was slowing down a bit too much, he took to the front and made sure that he kept them honest. And he really controlled that race from start to finish. And Ruth Beitia there, the 37-year-old,
37 years,
fails at 2 meters. But I think she's still in first place in that high jump competition.
All right, so let's leave it there and hand you over to our commentators. More insights into the women's high jump final.
The next up will be Mirela Demireva of Bulgaria. She had a foul on her first attempt at 188. So if she goes out, you can see that one. It's a treasured position to be, as long as the rest of the field remaining go out as well at 2 meters. Now she sits down and very nervously watches everything that's going to unfold in this high jump. It's come to this. They all have. The 3 ladies remaining have 1 jump left. This is the first one. And it's down. So, the Bulgarian raises her arms in salute, but meanwhile, Farah does a well-deserved lap of honour. What a race. What an athlete.
Mighty, magnificent Mo. And he goes to the crowd now. And the opportunity of congratulations from his countrymen, and of course the ever-present selfie. That's not a bad one. And he was superb. Chalimo ran a great race. He was comfortable behind them. He just didn't have the kick required. He didn't have the kick that Mo's got.
Well, Vlasic, she's had 2 failures at this height. It's her last attempt. Every time she comes off the bed, it's almost as if she needs a wheelchair to get back to the start of the run-up. She's made of steel. Blasic, last attempt at 2 metres. I wouldn't put it past her, would you? Oh, and that was so close. But Blasic goes out as well. She's sitting in 3rd position at the moment, despite failing at that height. There's one, well, let's just look at this. Great high point, just brushes that bar. Look at that, over it, apart from just that part of her body that flicked the bar, and down it comes. One athlete remains. Shante Lowe, the world lead at 2:01, has one chance left. One remaining jump at 2 metres. She currently sits in 4th. Oh! So, the winner from Spain, she's 37 years old. Clear jumps at 88, 93 and 97. And what a story. You couldn't have written it, could you? And the Spanish are absolutely going crazy. And I don't think she can believe it. You could jump up there the way you've been jumping tonight. Ruth Beitia of Spain, the gold medal winner in the women's high jump.
Well, whilst Ruth Beitia celebrates, we can luxuriate here in watching a fabulous finish to yet another thrilling race in which the same outcome has repeated itself. All credit to Paul Chelimo, the expatriated Kenyan now proudly representing America. He gave it everything, but with 40 to go, you knew it was destined to be Farah's day of glory once again.
I wasn't so sure with 100 to go when he got up to Farah's shoulder, but look at Mo. He had so much left. He was looking around. He knew the moment of history was beckoning. And, of course, the celebrations have come, and they're still continuing here in the stadium. He's around on the turn out of the straight now, waving to the crowd, accepting the congratulations of not only the British fans, because he almost transcends that. Yes, Britain is very proud of him after the great story that his life has evolved and he's found himself in that part of the world. But he's a bit like Bolt in that regard. He's universally loved throughout the world. And now he is the double Olympic champion at 5,000 and 10,000. Mo Farah in 13:03.30. Certainly not the quickest 5,000, but it doesn't matter. He got there quicker than Chelimo, who was brave in second placing. Gebrawet gets third for Ethiopia. Lagat, at 41 years young, finished in 4th place. And Andrew Butchart of Great Britain finished in 5th. But it's Mo Farah's night in Rio.
And just as we have reflected on the career of Usain Bolt, we should really treasure these moments from Mo Farah. He has taken British distance running and global distance running into a new chapter, and he's taken us all along for the ride. He's not retiring next year, unlike Bolt, but he is bringing to a close his career as a track athlete. And maybe we will see him in the Olympic Games again, but that would have to be in the marathon. He is signing off in some style.
And I just had that feeling of deja vu when they came to the bell, because the man who attacked him at the bell in London was Gebrawet. And he attacked him again, and Mo was able to keep the inside. And he's kept it all the way to the gold medal. Time for the presentation after the women's 800 metres. We've got a lot of victory ceremonies to get through after what has happened tonight. And here is one where Mo had to work, but he was quite comfortable at the end. Caster Semenya, well, she obviously had to work if you're going to win the Olympic Championship, but she was so comfortable at the end, running away and winning the Olympic Championship. The bronze medal will go to the 20-year-old from Kenya, Margaret Wambui. She only progressed to the heats of the World Championships in Beijing in 2015, but of course she was just 19 years of age then. She's got tactical speed because she's been a runner-up in the 400 metres at the African Championships.
Bronze medalist representing Kenya.
And so, at the tender age of just 20, she's got a lot of running in front of her. Margaret Wambui, World Junior Champion in 2014. They say often that you have to come to an Olympic Games and to experience it, especially when you're of those tender years, to find out what it's all about. And she is going to be, if her body stays together over the next 4 years, so difficult to beat in Tokyo in 4 years' time. She'll just be maturing as a middle distance athlete at that stage, at the age of 24. Such a brave effort from the silver medalist. Francine Niyonsaba, the 23-year-old from Burundi. She took the race on as she knew she had to. Somebody had to, because if they were going to leave it to Semenya, there was no question about the fact that she was going to outkick them if she was in front. And Niyonsaba decided, well, I've got to show some courage here. I've got to do something that I would not necessarily do, but it's my best chance for gold. As it turns out, she's had to settle for silver, but a notable achievement after making the Olympic final in London as well and finishing in 6th place there. She comes up with a silver medal behind the athlete who has been the dominant athlete in her distance, and a couple of others throughout the year as well. And so a moment that the 25-year-old from South Africa has thought many times may not come. There's been a lot written about her, a lot said about her, and now, as well as being a world champion from 7 years ago, she stands on the victory dais at the Olympic Games. Caster Semenya, silver medalist in London 4 years ago. And there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of articles written about this very win. But just for the moment, let's accept the fact that she was out there, permitted to start. She's out there amongst 7 other fine athletes over 800 metres. She has beaten them to the line. She is the Olympic champion. That's what the record books will say. And she is entitled to this moment. She's been through a lot in her life. Couple of memorable moments at these games for South Africa. Wade van Niekerk with the greatest 400 metres ever run, a world record from him. And now at double that distance, Caster Semenya is the Olympic champion. She runs a national record of 1:55.28. Francine Niyonsaba of Burundi is the silver medalist, and Margaret Wambui of Kenya takes the bronze. Now, I'm just having a look at a replay of something that happened in the 5,000 metres, and there might be something developing here.
Yes, a real shame because Chelimo has been disqualified. We're still not quite sure why, which means Gebri Hewitt's promoted to silver, and what a story. At the age of 41, Bernard Legat, at the expense of his American counterpart, gets the bronze medal. Idris disqualified, so too Chelimo and Ahmed. I wonder whether it was partly to do with the fact that there was so much shoving and pushing going on in that race over the last 2 or 3 laps, all happening behind Mo Farah.
Well, we just saw the replay of the incident where Chelimo came off the inside, and he certainly did check the runners behind him. If they start disqualifying everyone who checks everyone else, there's not going to be many left. That would be my argument, but the officials have seen it that way, and it is a controversial end to the 5,000 metres. But one thing that hasn't changed, Mo's the champion.
Roller for his 5th attempt in the javelin, currently residing in 2nd spot behind Diego, who had that great opening throw of 88.24. Roller, 5th attempt. Well, he stood up on that one. It's still going. Oh, it's over 90 metres. There you go. Bang your knuckles, the German coaches. 24-year-old lines it up. Keeps that sideline down the field, stands up against that left shoulder, and it sails out over 90 metres, just short of the Olympic record set by Torkelson in Beijing of 90.57. So we know it's below that, but the arms shoot up. He's just realised the magnitude of what he's just done. He goes into the lead at 90 metres 30, and it may be that Diego, who looked in trouble after he had his throw, may have retired and may be resigned to 2nd place. We'll have to wait for confirmation of that.
And out they come for the penultimate event on the track. The women's 4x400 metres relay. Canadian team on their way out now, striking the pose, and hopefully their smiles will be as broad as that after the race. This really does look as though it's likely to be a battle between Jamaica and the United States of America. All the teams ran a season's best in the heats. There's the American team. Okolo, Hastings, Francis, and the great Alison Felix looking for another gold medal. That'll make her a 6-time Olympic champion if she can get a medal here. And the Jamaican team is going to be their main opposition. McPherson, McLaughlin, Wilby, Jackson, and Noveline Mills at the age of 34. Noveline Williams-Mills at the age of 34. And there's the Ukraine team. They're also in with a bit of a shout here. And they'll finish with Olha Zemlyak, the 7th place getter in the 400. And the Great Britain team, it'll be Ailey Doyle leading them off to Anika and Nora, to Emily Diamond, and Christine Ohuragu, if she is to gain a medal, would become just the 2nd British athlete to win medals at 3 separate Olympic Games and join the great Steve Buckley. And there's the Australian team, which will be anchored by the up-and-coming talent of Morgan Mitchell, who's been a revelation down under for a while. The Italians, a bit like Charlie's Angels, striking the pose there, for those of you with good memories. But what a story this is in the high jump.
Wow, what a story it really is. 37 years young. It was fantastic. 1st place, all because of those clearances, clean clearances up to that height of 197 where everybody went out. So she takes the gold. Demireva of Bulgaria takes the silver. And Blanka Vlasic, who looked in agony, takes the bronze. Johannes Vetter, last attempt to get on the medal board. Well, it's a good attempt, but just over 80 metres for Vetter. His best was 85.32 in the first round. He started so well, the young German, but just didn't really quite develop the theme of throwing further as he went through. So 85.32 that first round throw. 81 metres just over for his final attempt. 81.74. Now Roller is sitting at the top of the pile. Jago took the lead early. Walcott really stands between. He's third at the moment, Walcott, with that 85.38. He stands between the gold medal for the German, because Jago, I think, has retired hurt. Now he loses control of the javelin, and it's a poor throw from the reigning Olympic champion on his last attempt. Roller, he puts his arm up, he takes the bronzo, so in the scope of things, that's a good performance. Good follow-up performance by Walcott, taking the bronze, having won the gold in London. But this young man, because Jago has retired injured, he was in tears on the side of the run-up, and I think the coach is going to be in tears in a minute of Roller, because the man is beaming with pride. Roller, he leads the world rankings with 91.28. Now, if he relaxes, who's to say that Torkelsson's Olympic record is not at risk here? Well, it's evens. I think he's got a chance. He's topped it. It's not bad, but he topped it. The flight of the javelin means that he's just struck that fraction too soon. But the German, the man from Germany, Thomas Roller, takes it with 90 meters 30. And what a series that is. Look at that, 87.40, 85.61, 87.07 in the third round. And then that 90 meters 30, which killed the competition off in the fifth round. Fantastic throwing from the young German.
Two more events to come on the track. The first of them, the women's 4x400 metres relay, and then they'll be followed by the men, which will bring down the curtain on the track competition. The USSR, naturally not here in one way or another, the world and Olympic record holders. There's the lineup for the final. Most of the interest in the middle of the field here. They'll keep their staggers, remember, for the first lap and a quarter. And it's Jamaica and the USA, you would think, are the big guns in this. Let's meet the teams now. And Poland's going to lead them out from the outside lane. Interesting to note that McArory of the United States was the fastest leg runner in the heat. She's not here. Poland goes Holub to Wasiskowicz to Baumgart to Sviti. For Canada, it's Carleen Muir to Alicia Brown, Noel Montcalm, and Sage Watson takes it last. Now, this woman was the quickest runner on leg one in the heats, Courtney Akolo, so she can give them a good start. To Hastings, to Francis, then to Alison Felix. Jamaica strong, the world champions. USA are the defending champions. McPherson, McLaughlin Wilby, Jackson, Williams, Mills. Ukraine's also got a good team. Zemlyak will bring them home, 7th in the 400. Great Britain are the European champions. Ailey Child to Anika Honora, Emily Diamond, Christine Uhuragu bidding for a little bit of Olympic history. Australia, the 18-year-old. What a moment for that young lady. Jess Thornton leading them off. She'll go to Annalise Ruby, to Caitlin Sargent-Jones, to Morgan Mitchell. And for Italy, it'll be Chigbolu to Spacca, to Folorunzo, to Labania Grano, the 33-year-old. Only Noveline Williams-Mills is older in this final. The 4x4. USA have dominated this race. They've won every instalment of it since Atlanta 1996 in front of their home crowd. Jamaica, the hardest to beat. Off they go in the 4x4, and it's always a good idea to remember that this is the longest of the legs for whatever reason it might be, and already Jamaica and the USA are opening up a gap on Ukraine in lane 4. Great Britain running really well in lane 3. Australia also doing okay. Italy's been left behind for the time being. Physically, Poland leads from Canada off the back straight, but both the USA and Jamaica have run really good legs, as evidenced by the gap that they've got between themselves and the next two. Great Britain already up to Ukraine. the Great Britain runner, Ailey Doyle. She's gone out hard. She'll need to finish it off over the last 100 metres or so here. It's the USA going to the front now. Poland trying to hang in there. Jamaica will change in second place, and Canada will be in fourth place. And now Ailey Doyle did a pretty good run, and she was able to hang on, and Great Britain will be in fifth as they go to the back in the first changeover.
Really well judged end to that run from Courtney Akolo, because she really came through brilliantly for the United States. It's Natasha Hastings on second leg for them, with McLaughlin Wilby, the Jamaican, beginning to close, and a really good run there from the Briton Annika Honora to get the European nation back in the mix. But the two powerhouses are out front at the moment. Hastings from the Jamaican.
And a good run here from Poland. They have come past a few, and they're getting up to challenge for third place. This has been a terrific leg by Wasiszkiewicz of Poland, who's getting herself up into fourth place in clean change from both the USA and Jamaica. It's Canada in third place. The Polish runner got balked there. Great Britain now back to fifth, is trying to shove Australia out of the way. But the Australian runner in Caitlin Sargent-Jones was able to get around the outside and goes up to join the Poles now as they go down the back straight. But the big two are a mile out in front, and it looks as though they're going to decide the gold medal at the moment. USA travelling comfortably. For the United States, it is Phyllis Francis, and don't forget she'll give it to the great Alison Felix. And for Jamaica, it is Sharika Jackson, the bronze medalist in the 400, and now she's starting to lift, and she's starting to close the gap, and there's not going to be much between them as they change. With a lap to go in the 4x4, the USA are going to hold it, and with Alison Felix running the last leg, you would think they would be favoured here. Novleen Williams-Mills, at 34 years of age, is going to try and run down the great champion. Great Britain has got it to third now, and Christine Ohuragu is running for glory and running for a little place in history. Canada and Italy behind her. Down the back straight, the race is on. Felix leads by 2 metres. Novleen Williams-Mills, with every stride, is closing the gap. It's going to be one thing to catch her. It's going to be another thing to get past her. We know what a champion Alison Felix is. She has the lead by 2, 3. It's stretching out to 4. I think she's got Jamaica beaten. The United States, who won every edition of this since Atlanta in 1996, are going to do it again. Alison Felix runs away and takes her 6th Olympic gold medal. Jamaica will get second. Christine Ohuragu is hanging on, and she will make a little bit of British history by getting the bronze in front of Canada, Ukraine, Poland, Australia and Italy. And the time is about to go up, but it was the USA all the way. The broad smile on the face of Alison Felix. Novleen Williams-Mills gave it her best. She got to within 2 metres down the back straight. As I said at the time, though, it's one thing catching Alison Felix, it's a whole other thing getting past her.
What an absolutely brilliant end to the women's track athletics programme. Felix against Williams-Mills on the last lap, and what a story for the Jamaican. She has won her 4th medal for the Jamaicans in the 4x4 and competed 4 years ago in London, having breast cancer, but not telling any of her teammates until the race was over. Christine Ohuragu had a brilliant chance to get the bronze there, because Great Britain's Emily Diamond ran a sensational third leg to give her the crucial gap over the rest of the nations who were closing, the Canadians and the Ukrainians. But the Americans, so dominant. Brilliant first leg from Akolo, because she looked as though she'd left a little bit in the tank, but she came through really well towards the end of that leg. But that was teed up for a marvellous finish between Felix and Novleen Williams-Mills. Wow, great drama and the right outcome. The Americans were class, and the Jamaicans deserved their moments on the podium. And a brave bronze for the Britons.
3:19.06 is the time for the USA, so they win by about 1.3 seconds from Jamaica, and the gap between second and third was a substantial one. It was 5.5 seconds. Such was the dominance of the two nations as they battled out gold and silver, with Great Britain finishing in the bronze medal position. What a great champion. 6 Olympic gold medals now for Alison Felix, and she really does have the mantle of one of the great athletes that the USA has produced in recent times. And here's the pain written on the face of Christine Ohuragu, who joins Steve Backley as a British athlete who has won medals at 3 consecutive Olympic Games. Well done.
Gold in Beijing, silver in London, and now she's completed the set with a relay bronze. That's Britain's first medal in the relay since Sally Gunnell led them to bronze back in Barcelona along with her 400 hurdles gold. What a fantastic race, and what a moment for Alison Felix, 6 times an Olympic champion.
The USA takes the gold, Jamaica takes the silver, Great Britain takes the bronze in front of Canada and Ukraine, Italy, Poland and Australia rounding out the finishes in the 4x400 for women. One event to come on the track, and what a track competition it's been in Rio.
And here's Julius Jago, who's limping away from the javelin area. I think he hurt himself on the 4th round. He retired in the 5th round. He had a no-throw in that 4th round, and it just looked as though he had a problem. So the sign came up, he retired, but 2nd place, nothing's going to stop him going on a victory lap with Walcott here from Trinidad and Tobago. The flags come out, but Thomas Roller is already halfway around the stadium. The German takes gold in the javelin and over 90 metres. 90 metres 30 for the gold.
Well, I know the big men will enjoy their moments on the podium, and so too will the 3 medalists in the men's 1500 metres. She knows a thing or two about Olympic glory, winning the 4 hurdles back in LA. And this guy might know a little bit about the 1500. After Asbel Kiprop finished out of the medals and McLoofie got the silver, he is still the only double Olympic champion over 1500 metres. And what a great moment for the 3 medalists to be presented with the climax of their careers, with their medals, by Lord Sebastian Coe. Well, there would have been a lot of people watching in New Zealand. What a fine career it's been for Nick Willis. His 3rd consecutive final. It wasn't quite a replica of the legendary exploits of Lovelock, Snell and John Walker 40 years ago, but a silver in Beijing, a little fist pump there. He is a masterful tactician, and while all around him were beginning to crumble, Willis kept his composure, and he has a 2nd Olympic medal. And you know that Seb Coe would have enjoyed watching that race. World indoor bronze earlier this year. He looked pin sharp and still going well as he flourishes into his 30s. Nick Willis takes the bronze. Well, it has been a great games for the defending Olympic champion over 1500. He came close. Silver this time for Taufik McLoofie to go along with his silver medal behind David Rudisha in the 800 metres. When Kiprop began to fade, it was all set up for McLoofie. He was coming wide on the outside of the American, but this year he didn't quite have the sharpness that he demonstrated down the back straight in London on the last lap 4 years ago. Gold becomes silver for the Algerian. And just as there will have been plenty watching in New Zealand as McLoofie celebrates, back home in the United States, and certainly in that middle and long distance running hub of Portland and Oregon, they would have been going absolutely wild when they saw Matthew Centrovitz holding the inside line against one of the all-time greats. He has stood tall against giants of this event, and this slight American has created a moment of history for him, his family and his country. The last American winner of the men's 1500 metres was 1908. Not anymore. And I wonder how many young American lads who like the 8 and the 15 will have been inspired by this, as the previous generation have been inspired in Britain by Cram, Coe and Ovett. This was the only global event in which he didn't have a medal, and he's taken the most important one of all. Matthew Centrovitz has won the blue ribboned event in Rio. He is the 1500 metres champion. What a great race, and what a story for middle distance running in America. It's enjoying a resurgence, and I think there may well be a few young boys asking their mums and dads if they can go down to their local athletics club. And surely that's one of the most important things achieved with these Olympic Games. It's not just about the place in the history books and the medals that gather dust. It's the fire that is lit in the next generation of athletes who watch what these Herculean men and women achieve and aspire to their own piece of greatness in 10 or 20 years' time.
And interesting to note that Lord Sebastian Coe has said earlier tonight that he cannot remember in living memory a group of athletes that have come to an Olympic championship better prepared. He said this competition has been of the highest quality, and it's hard to disagree.
And in the screen you can see the men in the javelin showing a bit of love for each other. There's nothing like a great hug at the end of the competition, is there? And Julius Jaego is a very humble man indeed. Learnt to develop his technique via technology and YouTube. He practiced with his own wooden javelins. And he's the world champion from 2015, where he threw over 92 metres. So here's the final result. 90 metres 30 for Roller of Germany, 88.24 for Jaego of Canada, and Walcott of Trinidad and Tobago, 85.38, just 6 centimetres ahead of another German, Vetter, in 4th place. The other athletes listed there just fought it out and tried to get into the top 8. 4 of them were unsuccessful, down to Peter Friedrichs of the Czech Republic, who finished in 12th position.
Look at that, the face of a champion, a 6-time Olympic champion, Alison Felix. She heard those footsteps of the brave Noveline Williams-Mills down the back straight, but in her heart of hearts, I'm sure she thought, I've got her covered, because they don't often come from behind Alison Felix and win, and that is an image that they will all be proud of, those 4 runners in the 4x4. So after all of the magnificence of the track competition, we're not far away from closing this thing down. It started raining just moments before the 100 metres hurdles in the heptathlon on day 1. Since then, we've had all sorts of moments. We've had world records, we've had controversy, we've had disqualifications, but mainly we've had a magnificent track meet. And I mentioned that London was a hard act to follow because they called it the greatest track and field meet of all time. And I think they were right. But this one hasn't suffered much by comparison. The crowds haven't been quite as big, but we've had a couple of full houses in the stadiums, and Lord Sebastian Coe said he's going to have to work to address that in the 4 years to come in front of Tokyo. But it has been a week and a bit of highlights and just memorable moments.
I totally agree. We've had world records, We've had some fantastic distance races run in different ways as well. We're so used to the cat and mouse that took hold of the men's 5 and the 10.
And the sprints weren't bad either.
The sprints were brilliant. The women's 10,000, Alma Zayana really going for it. Usain Bolt signing off in style. We've run out of superlatives when we're talking about the great Jamaican. But we've seen a host of huge stars light up this incredible arena, which now turns its attention for the very last time to the track with a tinge of sadness, but with expectation of a great race. Here they come for the men's 4x4, bringing down the curtain on what has been a fabulous, fabulous 8 days of world-class athletics. Cuba, followed by the Botswanans. Watch out for Makwala, he goes lead leg for them and was the fastest lead runner in the heats. And the Golden Knights of the Bahamas, anchored this time by Chris Brown, who went lead leg 4 years ago when they beat the Americans, the Caribbean islands' finest moments. But what a team they're going to have to beat again this time round, anchored by LaShawn Merritt, who got the bronze in that epic world record-winning 400-metre individual race. Then the Belgians, 1 Watrin and 3 Borlées. It sounds like the start of a joke, but it isn't. They're all world-class. The 3 brothers making another piece of history for their family. And what about the Jamaicans? Javon Francis has run some incredible final legs for them. He seems to be inspired when there's a baton in his hand, or a stick, as he would call it. The Polish team, 1 silver medal for them. That came back in 1976. And listen to the reception for the 4 Brazilian men experiencing the moment of their lives. Slightly controversial, both Great Britain and Trinidad and Tobago, 2 medalists from last year's World Championship disqualified, so the Brazilians are taking their place in this great final. A nice gesture there from the Americans, who've had a fantastic Olympic Games in this stadium, as Christina Huragu celebrates completing her set of Olympic medals, individual gold and silver, and a relay bronze to round off her Olympic career, because surely this will be her last time in the British colours in the Olympic context. So, the Bahamians are the defending Olympic champions.
Couldn't happen again, could it?
Well, they've got 2 of the men who did it for them. Michael Matthew goes second leg for them. And Chris Brown, the ever-present in the Golden Knights team from way back in Sydney. That's Watrin of Belgium, just going through his final preparations. And what a night this is for Pedro Luis de Oliveira, Alexander Russo, Peterson dos Santos and Hugo de Souza. They've never won a medal in the men's 4x4. It will be a massive task for the Brazilians, but what a night it will be for the 4 men representing their nation here, bringing to a close the Games.
And we made mention of the fact before, too, that we haven't had full stadiums all the time. But whenever a Brazilian athlete has stepped out, the noise around this stadium is as if there was double the amount of people here. They have been magnificent towards their athletes, whilst paying, in nearly all cases, due attention and respect to the athletes of other nations as well.
I agree. They have certainly made their presence felt here throughout the 8 days we have very much enjoyed. So it is with a little tinge of sadness that we bring down the curtain on these great games as far as the athletics in the stadium is concerned. Men's relay coming up now, men's marathon tomorrow morning, but this is it as far as the track and field is concerned. Cuba on the outside. A silver medal for them in this event back in Barcelona in 1992. The United States are the world champions. The Bahamians are the Olympic champions. And Jamaica, with a really, really good quartet, who will fancy the job here tonight. A Mexican wave is going up around the stadium. The party is about to start. William Collazo on lead leg. Isaac Makwala, watch for the Botswanan. He's in the top 10 fastest men in history. You can tell he looks pumped. He should start very quickly. The Bahamians, it's a Caribbean island in love with its athletics, and they will be watching. Armand Hall, Tony McQuay, a brilliant second leg for the Americans yesterday. LaShawn Merritt goes anchor. Will it be an anchor towards glory? Watrin, followed up by the three Ball brothers. They were 6th in London. And then the Jamaicans. The Brazilians have really taken every Jamaican athlete to their heart. Watch for Javon Francis at the end. Rafael Amelco will go anchor for the Poles. And the Brazilians. Wow, what a noise, what a moment, and what a reception. So this is it, to a background of samba drums and a party atmosphere that's waiting to start. There is one last chance for Olympic glory in this stadium here in Rio 2016. This is the final, the men's 4x400 metre relay. What an atmosphere and what an opportunity for all 8 nations lining up. Silence for the start, but now the noise erupts as we wait to see which of the nations get out hard. Makwala is running down the back straight, trying to close down the Cuban. The Jamaican Peter Matthews is running well. He's beginning to eat into the lead of Julien Watrin. And Makwala is closing the Cuban. The Bahamian, Alonzo Russell, trying to come through. And I wonder whether the Jamaicans gone too hard too early. Makwala leading for Botswana at the moment, but remember, this is the longest of the 4 legs, and even the legendary Isaac Makwala is beginning to tire just towards the end. Botswana with the Bahamas and the Americans very tight between the 3 of them as they set off towards the break down the back straight.
Matthews run himself to a standstill at the end, and Jamaica will only cross in about 5th spot. They might get it up to 4th. Almost a couple of races going on here. The USA has gone to the lead. Jamaica finds themselves back in 4th, and the Bahamas are nicely poised up in 3rd place.
So the Americans lead. A really good run this from McQuay. And now coming wide on the outside. What a finish to that leg by the Botswanans. Karabo Sibandas had the leg of his life there. USA from Botswana, from Jamaica. Belgium in 4th place. And the Bahamians have got some serious work to do there. They've got Stephen Gardner on the 3rd leg, and he's now coming up onto the Belgian shoulder. But this is an incredible effort from the Botswanans in 2nd place. The Jamaican is isolated here, and Gardner, the Bahamian, will have him in his sights. But how tight is this? It's Gil Roberts against Nkobolo of Botswana. Oh, and he stumbles. Gil Roberts almost lost his balance there. He's feeling the pressure. And now it will come down to LaShawn Merritt. America from Botswana, the Bahamians and Jamaica in 3rd and 4th. And will the Botswanan run out of steam, or will LaShawn Merritt pull away? Down the back straight. So much noise in the stadium. What an atmosphere. What a climax. One last gold. A Caribbean battle for the bronze, but they're dragging themselves back towards the leaders. Chris Brown and Javon Francis. And Brown's holding the battle at the moment, but Francis is a brilliant finisher in the relays. And surely no one is going to deny LaShawn Merritt a golden finish to a great games here in this stadium. The Americans have dared to conquer once more, Javon Francis with the silver, Chris Brown with the bronze, as Kevin Borlée crashes to the ground in fourth. You have to take your hat off to the Americans. A great challenge from the Botswanans, which faded just towards the end of the race. Cometh the moment, cometh the powerhouse nations, and it is the Americans who take it, 2:57.30. But how close did their race come to unravelling when Gil Roberts stumbled in the home straight towards the end of the third leg?
One of those moments where you have your heart in your mouth. The Bahamas hanging on for third here. Kevin Borlée has run an amazing last leg for Belgium, and he has dived across the line and is still down on the track. He has buried himself with that last lap performance for Belgium, but he's just fallen short of the medal. But it's as we were, as you go, after the 4x4 for women, where the USA and Jamaica fought it out. And it is the same again, and it's Hall, McQuay, Roberts and the great LaShawn Merritt who take the gold medal from Jamaica and Bahamas. And Belgium, Kevin Borlée is just now getting to his feet. That is a prime example of going out there and saying, I am going to leave everything I've got on the track. And he's given them a national record, not a medal, but a national record. And it's also a national record for Botswana, who looked possibly the men most likely if there was to be an upset for most of that race.
Well, all credit to Botswana, because they decided to put their best guy out lead leg, Isaac Makwala, and it set the tone for the second and third legs. I'd like to see that stumble from Gil Roberts again. And what a final farewell from Chris Brown of the Bahamas. It wasn't destined to be gold this time. They'll always have the memories of London 2012. They'll always be referred to as the Golden Knights. They have finished on the podium once again. And the other guy we should mention is Javon Francis of Jamaica. Some people on that rich sprinting nation believe that he hasn't quite fulfilled his potential individually that he showed as a junior. But what heart from him at the end to deny the Bahamians the silver medal. Brilliant finish from the Jamaicans to come second.
And we should mention that Brazil finished in 8th place, but that doesn't matter. Just to get here, to get into the final, was something that they will remember for the rest of their lives. They pretty much kept the staggers for the first half of the first lap, but it was then that the big guns started to emerge, although Jamaica had to make their way from back in the field. It was the first leg from the Jamaican runner in Peter Matthews, and he just, as you called it, he'd gone very hard for the first 300, and he gritted his teeth in the last 100 metres or so, but they lost some spots there, and that was effectively probably the end of their chances of beating the United States, who did it from the front.
Look at Javon Francis here, coming past. You've got to feel sorry for the Botswana, and he was stumbling there and completely lost his footing as Borlée tried to outdip Chris Brown. But Browno's got way more experience than that. He might not be a big guy, but he's got an absolute mammoth well of experience to draw on in the last 20 metres of a relay. Merritt was largely untroubled in the last 20 metres, and what a wonderful moment for him, having taken part in that historic individual 400 at the beginning of the Games, where he ended up with the bronze medal.
There was a certain symmetry about the last leg for both the women and the men. When a great champion gets the baton, you know that they have runners behind them who are absolutely going to give it their all, but when it's the likes of Alison Felix and LaShawn Merritt out in front, the task is an enormous one. And really, over the last lap of both of the races, although the runners behind did give their all, it was never going to alter the result. And the USA has emerged again, the powerful nation in the relays, after a few little hiccups in the shortest of the relays for the women, the 4x1, but they got there in the end.
A thrilling climax. And actually, I think the Bahamians and the Jamaicans, in trying to battle for the bronze, that almost pulled them back towards the Botswanans. A real shame for them as they faded towards the end, but no disgrace in their performance. They've smashed their national record inside 3 minutes from them. And a nice show of respect and a nice exchange there between the Jamaican quartet and one of the Americans, rightly celebrating here the very last medals of what has been an outstanding 8 days of athletics. And if you are a young athlete and you've just joined a club, and if you've been inspired by what you've seen here, keep going. It's hard. There are days when it rains. there are days where you don't feel like you fancy it. Keep going, because every athlete you've seen on the podium here and every athlete you've seen in a final has also had those days, has also had those doubts, and look where they are now. And if they can make it, so can you.
And that was a replay of the first of the changes. Here's the second. Botswana had actually got to the USA at that stage, but because of where the runners were standing, at the 200, the USA led Botswana, so they had the inside position, and Botswana had the second position. And then the final changeover to give away 3 or 4 metres to LaShawn Merritt in the last lap. Look how far back Borlée was going into the last lap, and he's nearly got himself into a position where he got a medal for Belgium. It was brilliant. It'd be interesting to see his split over the closing stages. He's just hidden behind LaShawn Merritt there. And the great champion, the 400-metre champion of 8 years ago, strides away and takes another gold medal. Jamaica with the silver, and Chris Brown just dipping at the line and avoiding the desperation of Kevin Borlée to take the bronze medal. He dipped at the line in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, but he was out-dipped by Matthew Hudson-Smith going back 2 years ago. But it's celebrations for the US, and it's celebrations for us all, because we've witnessed a simply magnificent track competition. Now, there you go.
I love that. I love the confidence from Javon Francis. Yeah, and the celebrations continue here, and I hope these athletes have a great party tonight. They, as in all the sports, they sacrifice so much just to be here, just to line up in a final, and the very best go home not only with the memories, but with a treasured Olympic medal and a place in history. It really has been an amazing 8 days, and how the sport needed it.
Indeed. It's been through some troubled times, and Lord Sebastian Coe spoke about that and the way that it's going to be addressed in the years to come, in the year before the World Championships in London, in the 4 years before we go to the next Olympic Games in Tokyo. Those men will receive their medals tonight, naturally enough, at the end of the track competition, if we can ever get the Bahamas runners and the Jamaican runners and the US runners off the track, because they're taking a very long time at their lap of honour. But we still have a couple of medal ceremonies to come before we officially bring down the curtain on tonight's entertainment. And whilst the party is going to begin for a lot of these athletes tonight, many of them, of course, will be flying out of Rio in the not too distant future. But there is one group of athletes, certainly spare a thought for them, because they're not in party mode just yet. It is the massive field that is assembled for the marathon, which is going to be held, the men's marathon, around the streets of Rio tomorrow.
We're very much looking forward to that. So the United States, in a thrilling race with a great finish from LaShawn Merritt, they are the Olympic champions. A brilliant silver for Jamaica, and a dip on the line has got the Bahamians the bronze by 3/100ths of a second. Belgium and Botswana both producing national records in 4th and 5th.
Official sponsor of the South African Olympic and Paralympic teams. Telkom, proud sponsor of Speed.
What a performance by our athletes. They're rounding up the 8 days of the track and field events, and it's been really phenomenal to see world records being broken, tumbling down after many years, and a new records being set, national records tumbling down. And as we saw there, the 4x400 meter men's relay. We were looking at Botswana, Arno Malebe and myself, and they're finishing 6th, and it's their national record.
Yeah, I think they were 5th in the end, weren't they?
Fifth in the finals, yeah, 258, 259.
Yeah, it was a new national record for them. If I was them, I'd rethink their running order a bit. They ran with their fastest athletes first, and the athlete on the last leg just couldn't hold it together. When the other athletes started passing him, he stumbled, and that was just tension, and couldn't quite hold it together. And you just think maybe if they just swapped around 1 or 2 athletes, they might have held on for a bronze medal there.
All right, and just wrapping it up in terms of our athletes, Elroy and Custer's runs this morning.
Well, what can you say about Costa that hasn't been said? I mean, we expected a gold medal from her. She delivered in great style, new national record, looked controlled, looked measured all the way through. So exactly what we would have expected. Clearly didn't go for that world record, and like we said, her ankle was strapped, so maybe that's the reason, or maybe just not wanting to risk the gold medal. And Elroy did well. He also did what we expected. Tried to hang on to Mo Farah and Legat and those guys for as long as possible. And in the end, finishing in 13-17, not a bad run from him. I think he could be very happy with that, I think, 14th place that he got.
And just obviously in closing now, in terms of athletics, how has the standard been versus 2012 London Olympics?
Much, much higher. The Rio Games was amazing. I mean, London had one world record. That was David Rudisha on the 800. In Rio, we've had 3 world records. Wade van Niekerk being one of them, of course, and Ayana on the 10,000, and then also Vladarchik in the women's hammer throw.
Yeah.
So 3 world records, a whole bunch of Olympic records and national records and area records, as they called, continental records. So it was a very, very high standard and brilliant competition. I mean, there was some events where you didn't even expect that much. Men's 400-meter hurdles, which just blew everybody out of the water, all top medalists and 4th place as well, under 48 seconds. The women's long jump was amazing. So even when there weren't records falling, it was great competition, and it was a very, very good Olympic Games from an athletics perspective.
I also want us to touch on the 37-year-old, the women's high jump.
Oh, Ruth Betia,
yes.
yeah. So this was her 4th Olympics. She's never medaled before. And in fact, she was thinking about retiring, and I think she did retire from the sport a couple of years ago, and decided to come back. You know, she was having so much fun, and here she goes in her 4th Olympics and wins gold. Now, that was one event. 197 isn't great. You know, we expect Olympic medals in the high jump to be won with jumps of over 2 meters. But that perhaps helped her a bit. There were a few women in that final that could have jumped over 2 meters, and we saw how close many of them came to that 2 meter mark and just failing on that. Shante Lowe being one of them, Blanka Vlasic, Demireva was the other one. And, but a great moment for Ruth Betia. So it kind of shows that story. Sometimes you just continue doing what you love and you get rewarded.
All right, Arno, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for your analysis over the 8 days. We'll definitely be back tomorrow as we wrap matters up. Will you be back with us?
I'm not going to be here, luckily. I get to sleep tomorrow.
You're not even going to watch the closing ceremony?
Of course I'm going to watch it.
Of course
but you'll be joined in studio with Geraldine, I believe. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your analysis over the 8 days of the Olympics. It was really an honor to have you in studio.
Thank you very much. It's been lots of fun, tiring, but lots of fun.
Long hours.
Yeah, it's been great, though.
All right. So that's Arno Maleve just saying goodbye, obviously, as we wrap matters up in terms of the track and field events. But Romy Titus is also standing by. It's also her last morning with us, just to let us in on what everyone is obviously talking about at this time of the morning. Romy?
Lebo, I'm with Arno completely. Tomorrow I watch everything from my bed, absolutely everything. But it has been great fun, and I mean, about 2:30 this morning, Twitter was buzzing. Custer just got everybody up, got everybody talking. The entire South Africa, if not all 50+ million of us, set those alarms and woke up just to support Caster Semenya and went ahead and tweeted. I mean, someone once said, "You made the country proud. We didn't sleep just for you," whilst someone else on Twitter is saying, "I'm happy that I waited up for this hour and now I can sleep happily." I mean, going to that Let's Go Rio 2016 hashtag as well. It just says, "Caster making me proud. I feel like I was the one on the track." And it is quite emotional, you know, as a South African, watching a South African. And I mean, I loved what you said, Lebu. Yes, she got the gold, but then we were like, and
a little bit more.
And, you know, but at the end of the day, it's a gold medal that she brings home, and a new record as well, as Arno was talking about. And then Caster did it. We're proud of you, Mohadi, using that hashtag Let's Go Rio 2016, hashtag Caster for gold. So if it is on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram, I mean, I went ahead and tweeted and Instagrammed that picture of Caster and myself and just said that was the moment I was waiting for. You know, this is, for me, the ultimate. That was the race that I so supported and stood by. And I'm awfully proud as a South African and a sports journalist just standing here and saying, wow, we come home with yet another gold medal.
All right, thank you very much, Romy. We'll touch base with Romy a little bit later on. But for now, let's hear for the first time, because she has been avoiding to do a lot of media interviews ahead of this final, what she had to say after her gold medal performance.
It's a great feeling. It's just fantastic. I think I'll just give the credit to my team, you know, my physios, my training partner, my coach, you know, my wife, my family. They've done a great job, you know. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I could have been here today. So there's a dedication to them. So, yeah, big ups to them.
And you dominated. How did you do it?
I think it's through the support of my people, you know, at home. When I check at home, the social media, they've been crazy, you know. I think, yeah, I get the strength from them. So I'll just keep doing for them.
After your silver medal in London, how determined were you to win this race?
I think it was more for being focused on what I do and also patience. It does help a lot. So, yeah, like I said, it's through teamwork. We've been able to, together the team. Fantastic, like I said, this credit to my team.
What was the feeling on crossing that line?
I couldn't believe it, but what I can say is just fantastic.
And what have you had to do to deal with the pressure, to deal with some of the outside noise?
I think just be me, I just keep everything within me, focus on running, and worry about things later. So yeah, now I just keep, calm, listen to my music, and focus on what I do. So yeah, then I deliver.
Many congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
All right, she says social media has been crazy, and obviously it has. We have all been behind Caster Mokgadi Semenya, supporting her throughout this journey of the 2016 Olympic Games. Plenty more, I'm pretty sure, to come from her. But a quick break. When we come back, we wrap matters up in today's action in terms of how the day has presented itself from rhythmic gymnastic to cycling.
The SABC has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that's fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech or violence or explicit sex. If you think we are not living up to that code, then you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Direct any complaints in writing to the BCCSA, PO Box 412 365, Craig Hall 2024. Send a fax to 011 326 3198 or an email to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more information, please visit bccsa.co.za.
Welcome back. You are still watching SABC2 as we wrap matters up from our Auckland Park studios, but also wrapping athletics. 8 days that have been absolutely amazing to watch from Brazil. And before we go any further, let's have a listen to what a man that also did a double-double from the 10,000 meter to the 5,000 meter finals. That's the great Brit himself, Mo Farah.
It's pretty amazing. It's something, something a dream of. Just come and become Olympic champion once, and to do it twice, 4 times, it's pretty amazing.
What sacrifices has it taken?
Just being away from my family, spending 6 months each year away from my family, from my kids, seeing grow up, and sometimes kids not be able to recognize you. That's hard for me, and I knew I want to do something for them, so it's something there forever for them. Every single one of them's got a medal now, and that's me.
So you're dedicating the medal again to your children?
My son Hussein, I'm going to engrave it with his name on it. Rihanna's got a medal. The twins got the medals from London, Aisha and Amani, so that's it.
And that final lap at the bell, it was a real fight. What were you thinking?
I wasn't going to let inside lane go. Once you get boxed in the last lap, the race is done. The race is done. So I wasn't anyone going to push me. I was staying there. I was just slowly increasing up, and then when I went, I made sure I had something left.
You've left an incredible legacy. What more is there for you to achieve now?
Just continue enjoying it. I got London 2017, and then after that, I think I'm going to go to the roads and see how it goes.
Many congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, whether or not we'll be seeing him come 2020, something else, but we'll definitely be seeing him in the next coming World Champs. For now, though, let's have a look at the day that was in all sorts of sporting codes. 17 sporting codes that presented itself to the athletes in terms of the medals this morning or this evening or this afternoon, depending on which part of the country you're watching or you're streaming us from. And let's get right into it and have a look at some highlights coming through from our triathlon athletes, where we had two South Africans, one in the likes of Murray Robbie finishing 11th overall, a great finish by her, as well as Gillian Sanders 23rd overall, but it was dominated and won by the USA athlete, that is Gwen, doing really phenomenally well to make sure that she eventually wins an Olympic gold.
The women's triathlon began on Copacabana Beach with 55 athletes competing for the medals. First they faced a 1,500-metre swim in the ocean, then a bike ride of more than 40 kilometres over an undulating course, and finally a 10-kilometre run. Among the favourites, the world champion Gwen Jorgensen from the USA, and wearing number 18, the defending Olympic champion Nicola Spirig Hug from Switzerland.
On your mark.
The sea looked less calm than it had been for the men 2 days before, and nobody pulled clear. Carolina Routier of Spain was the leader, and she tried to take advantage of the waves on the way back to shore. The favourites were among the leaders at the first transition. Jorgensen and Spirig were quickly to the front of a group of 18 cyclists who moved away from the rest of the field. The medals would be decided by 4 laps of the 2.5-kilometre running course. Straight away, Jorgensen and Spirig powered to the front. They would battle for the gold medal, with the two British athletes, Vicky Holland and Non Stanford, racing each other for the bronze. Keeping cool in the heat was vital, and keeping your head in the psychological battle was important too. Spirig appeared to want Jorgensen to go in front, but the American was happy to stay on her rival's shoulder. Not for long. As the bell sounded, Jorgensen accelerated. In a few hundred metres, she'd established a winning lead. When the sunglasses came off, there were no opponents in sight. Jorgensen could enjoy the hard-earned success. Spirig was strong enough to hold on for second, as behind her two best friends and housemates sprinted against each other for third place, with Holland beating Stanford to it. The winner and her husband, Patrick Lemieux, could share in her success. Jorgensen's margin of victory, an impressive 40 seconds. So bronze for Vicky Holland of Great Britain. The silver medal went to Nicola Spirig Hug of Switzerland. And the new Olympic champion in women's triathlon is Gwen Jorgensen of the USA.
I went into this race and I knew that Jamie Turner and Patrick Lemieux had done everything they could to get me to that starting line happy, healthy, and you know, I was motivated, really motivated, and you never know what's going to happen on race day, so I was nervous too, but yeah, I still can't really believe it.
How much did things go exactly according to plan?
I haven't really had time to process, you know, I'm just trying to really enjoy this moment, and you know, I've been working for this for 4 years with Patrick and Jamie, and so to actually accomplish it on the day is something that's pretty amazing.
It looked as though you were actually talking to Nicola during the 10K part of the race. What were you saying to her?
Yeah, you know, we were playing a little bit of games. So that was fun. I actually think it was quite fun. You know, we were just playing games, you know, who's going to take the lead and what's going on. And it made it fun and hopefully exciting for the fans.
How emotional was it for you to be standing on the podium with the gold medal around your neck?
Yeah, you know, it's something I've dreamed of for 4 years and something, you know, I've put a lot of time and effort into this, and my family's been super supportive of me, letting me be abroad for 9 months of the year, and I've had Patrick with me who gave up his career to support me, and Jamie who's invested in 4 years, and I mean, you can't thank those people enough.
I think I was fighting extremely hard. I tried everything and I showed a very good race Gwen was stronger. She deserved the gold, but to me, I'm extremely happy. I fought really hard, and I think for me, I won the silver and I didn't lose the gold.
It was such a tough battle between the two of you. What were you saying to each other during the 10K?
Well, as I said, I tried everything, even the mental games. So there was a bit of headwind over this side of the course, and in the third lap, no one wanted to lead. And I said, come on, Bichet. And she said, yeah, but I was leading before. And I said, well, I was leading in the 10 win. So, and then in the end I said, well, I already have a medal. So it's basically you that has to work. So it was just a bit of mental games. And in the end she was stronger, she was faster. But I think I really gave it my all.
How proud are you, though, to have a medal in 2 successive games?
I'm very proud. I think it wasn't easy. I broke my hand in March. I have 3 plates and 23 screws in that hand, so it wasn't easy to come back. I have obligations. I'm a mother, I'm an Olympic champion, so preparation was really hard, but I trained extremely well and I really wanted to show what I've done, and I'm very proud to stand here now with the 2nd medal, a silver medal, and very happy.
I can't really put it into words yet. I think it's everything that I've always dreamed to have, everything that I've always wanted to train for, I have trained for. I remember watching the Olympics in '92 when I was a 6-year-old and watching some of the Brits win gold medals there and always just wanting a piece of that. And, you know, I didn't win a gold medal, but I won a medal, and I'm absolutely delighted.
How hard was it to have such a battle for a medal with someone you know so well?
Oh, it was awful in a lot of ways, because it became quite clear probably a couple of laps in that it was going to be between me and Non for one medal. And she's my best friend, and she's a huge part of me winning a medal anyway, because we train together, we live together, we're part of the same team, we came here as a team, but we wanted a medal each, and it just had to come down to one of us.
How proud are people at home going to be?
I really hope they're proud. I mean, I'm really proud of myself, so I hope they're proud too. Yeah, and I hope that they really see that this is a team effort and this wasn't just me. You know, I'm the one who's come home with a medal, but myself, Non, and Helen were such a strong team together. Helen's been battling illness as well. And the team that's behind us at British Triathlon, the physios, the medical support, you know, my boyfriend who's also my coach, other coaches, the whole team has put me together to get a bronze medal here, so I hope everyone's proud.
How hard did he drive you on as both boyfriend and coach?
He's been pretty good. He's dealt with me when I've, you know, not always been quite so happy, when I've been tired, when I've been grumpy, when I've been saying I'm not good enough. You know, he's known just how to get the best out of me, and I think that's shown today with peaking at the right time this season and bringing home a medal.
The boyfriend and coach, or the husband and wife combination, has been really strong in this past Olympics. I do wonder if it's all been a success story to some of these athletes. But a good job and well done to our South African participants in the triathlon. Let's now shift focus and move over to some water polo. This time around, it was the bronze medal match between Montenegro and Italy. Italy were going into this match hoping for a gold medal, seeing that some of the team members were there that won a silver back in 2012. The likes of the centre-back Guido was also there, as well as the goalkeeper, that's Stefano. But this time around, they came back home with a bronze.
The bronze medal match in the men's water polo event at Rio 2016 was contested by Montenegro and Italy. Italy, who won silver 4 years ago in London, didn't want to go home empty-handed, whereas Montenegro were looking to go one better than their 4th place finish at the previous 2 Olympic Games. Italy opened the scoring through Valentino Gallo, but Montenegro kept the scoreline close, then drew level at the start of the 3rd period. But then the Italians scored twice within a minute. Stefano Tempesti in the Italian goal made some important saves. Playing in his 5th Olympic Games, he underwent eye surgery just 2 months ago. With seconds remaining, Montenegro needed to score twice. But when this shot hit the crossbar, the Italians sensed they had the victory. 12-10 the final score. Italy won the bronze medal. Montenegro finished 4th for the 3rd consecutive Olympic Games.
It's incredible. I never feeling like this. I can't describe. It's incredible, fantastic. Bronze medal. at Olympics game is a dream. You know, every medal is a dream for an athlete. It's the best that an athlete can do. I'm living in a dream. So just this.
And to be able to celebrate this with a team together, how special is that?
It's more special because when you win and you see your friend that is happy, the happy is more. So it's all beautiful answer.
And of course, this journey to get here, can you describe that for me?
This match was every minute is a battle. So we have fight and we like a puzzle. Every of us has given the best. So this is the best thing I ever lived.
Can you think of what your friends and family are feeling right now?
Yes, I am thanks for my family, my friends, my coaches, all the person that I ever met.
Yeah, we started the group with some defeats. We didn't play so good, but in the quarterfinals we started to get it up our game, and we started to play very good. And we played against Hungary, beat them in the quarterfinals. After that, in the semifinals, we were a lot spent in the quarterfinals. We didn't have so much strength, and Croatians beat us. And this medal, this game was very important for us, but unfortunately our defense, which is always our top priority and our way to win the games, we didn't play today again so good. We got 11 goals, and I think that was the reason we lost today.
How do you feel about this moment and about the whole tournament?
Yeah, but Olympics is a dream for every athlete. It's nice to compete here even, and to come to play for the medal. It's really, your heart starts dancing, and I like being here. It's pity we didn't get the medal, but it was a nice game, and I enjoyed it really much.
Montenegro just happy with that fourth place finish overall at the 2016 Olympic Games. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, plenty more as we wrap up Olympics 2016.
There is justice in South Africa. Pick up the phone and call Clientele Legal. We have tough, qualified lawyers standing by to assist you.
From only 140 Rand a month, you can have access to superior legal services 24 hours a day.
All Clientele Legal plans include a bail benefit. Should you be arrested, we will go to the police station on your behalf and pay the bail.
Join Clientele Legal today.
SMS cover to 41446. We'll call you back.
Stand up. Today is your day. Now take a step on forward and get on your way. You know what you know. The world's just waiting to meet you today.
With you on your journey. Engen. With us, you are number one.
Welcome back. You are still watching SABC2, giving you a wrap-up of the day that was in terms of the 2016 Olympic Games at day 14 and moving on to 15, 16 and eventually just closing up tomorrow. But for now, let's have a look at some of the highlights of the individual dressage, where this one, gold medal, was won by the Great Britain.
The last of the equestrian events at Rio 2016 was the individual jumping, which came to a dramatic climax with a jump-off against the clock. After 2 rounds, only 6 riders out of 35 were still on the perfect score. No faults, and so through to the jump-off. Among them, the defending champion Steve Gerdau of Switzerland and the 2008 winner Eric Lamaze of Canada. But Nick Skelton of Great Britain was first to go. He'd won gold in the team event in London at the age of 54. 4 years later, this was his chance in the individual competition. Skelton's clear round was his third of the day. His time of 42.82 seconds would prove hard to beat. Gerdau was next, but his chances disappeared quickly when he knocked the very first rail, although only just. Sheikh Ali Al-Thani of Qatar and Kent Farrington of the USA both also had fences down. What was the 58-year-old Skelton thinking? He was now guaranteed a medal with 2 riders left. The first of those was Peder Fredriksson of Sweden. His jumping was flawless, but he finished just outside Skelton's time. The Swede assured of at least the bronze medal and delighted. So the Canadian Lamaze was the last to go. He looked to be going quickly and was clear until he made a crucial mistake at the second last. Lamaze would finish third, but Nick Skelton had become the Olympic champion, and it looked like he couldn't believe it. So the bronze medal went to the 2008 champion, Eric Lamaze of Canada. Peder Fredriksson of Sweden took the silver. And the gold medal went to Nick Skelton of Great Britain, the oldest champion in Olympic equestrian history.
Nick making history there. The Brits are very excited with his performance. Even said that they'll probably give him a guard of honor when he arrives back home. But for now, let's change focus a little bit and have a look at athletics. This went down yesterday. A triple or treble as some may say, when Usain Bolt's team won the 4x100 meter men's relay in a great style. And hear what they had to say also after the race.
The final of the women's 4x100 relay, reigning champions, the USA, had a dramatic journey to get to the final. They dropped the baton in the qualifying round and after a successful appeal, had to rerun the heat on their own. Now they were here determined to defend their Olympic title. A fabulous opening run from Tiana Bartoletta. They quickly made up ground on the inside. The experienced Jamaican team was the closest challenger. This time, the Americans would not have any incidents. The handovers were smooth. Jamaica had a strong finishing leg from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, but they could not close the gap. The USA crossed the line in the second fastest time ever for this event. The Jamaicans would have to settle for silver. Great Britain held off a challenge from Germany and crossed the line in the bronze medal position.
I'm extremely happy. I don't really know what to say. I mean, the journey to get to this point has been tumultuous. Like one of my training partners said, my road to Rio had a lot of potholes and detours, but I'm leaving here with 2 golds, and one of them is extremely special. This relay really pulled it together. I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
Alison, a 5th Olympic gold medal for you. How special is this?
It's really neat. You know, sharing it with these ladies is amazing. We just went out there and we had fun tonight.
English, a first Olympic Games and a first gold medal. What will you take away from this experience?
It's very humbling. You know, I came in here just to, make sure I left with some hardware. These girls put their heart out for me and definitely was able to get me there and get my first gold, so it's very exciting.
And Tori, you complete the set, gold, silver, bronze. What kind of a Games has it been for you?
It's been amazing. I mean, it hasn't been an easy journey, but I'm thankful for it all.
Well, I must say thanks to God. We finished the race healthy and the baton was passed around safely. So we're happy that we're happy for the silver medal. I'm happy for the second chance to be on the podium. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Elaine, an incredible games for you. 2 golds and a silver. What has this experience been like?
It's a wonderful experience. It's my first Olympics as well with 2 gold medals. A silver, I cannot complain. I have to give God the glory.
Veronica, for you, bittersweet, but you finish on a high. What does this mean?
Yeah, I have to give God all the glory. I can't complain. It has been good, and it's always fun to come out and compete in the relay with my Jamaican ladies, and I'm glad that we were able to finish and get the banner and we get a medal. So at least we are rewarded for our hard work. So that's good.
Shelly-Ann, I think we've lost count of the number of Olympic medals you've won. What does it mean to add another one here?
It feels good, you know, we work hard and everybody works hard, and to come out here and to get to stick around, it's always good, you know, and to get the opportunity to stand on the podium as a team. You know, sometimes you want the gold, but we can always be grateful with the silver.
Honestly, it means so much. We have to say thank you to everyone that helped us, everyone back at home, all the girls that weren't there 4 years ago, because they gave us a lot of support and edged us all girls on, and we've worked so hard for this, and I cannot be more thankful to be with such a great team.
You know, this is absolutely fantastic. At the beginning of the year, we knew what our goals were, and to be able to fulfill them and to do it with such a great group of girls, you know, I feel like as though we're overwhelmed and just really, really proud of ourselves.
Yeah, it's just been so incredible to be able to have the privilege to run with these girls, because they've all worked so hard. We've been working tirelessly, as you said, since the beginning of the year, and I just feel like it's probably one of the most hard-earned medals that we probably ever won. So,
you know, we've got a great team. Shout out to Ashley, Louise and Bianca, who are also part of our team. We've got a great sense of trust in our team, and yeah, we brought it home.
The women's 20-kilometre walk took place in Pontal as world champion and world record holder Hong Liu, unbeaten since March of 2015, looked to add the Olympic gold medal to her trophy cabinet. 20 laps of the course lay ahead for the 75-strong field. And it proved to be a battle between the Chinese. Xu Ji-Lu led the field through the 6-kilometre mark in just under 27.5 minutes. She had swapped that lead with Mexico's Maria Guadalupe Gonzalez, and compatriot Li Yu through 8 and 10 kilometres, only to regain it at the 12-kilometre mark. But with just 4,000 metres to go, another Chinese athlete had shot to the front. Shiji Guiyang was now favourite for the gold. But Li Yu is not world champion for no reason, and she hit back to just about take the lead, approaching the closing stages of the race. But it was neck and neck with her compatriot Lu, Mexico's Gonzalez, with Italy's Antonella Palmisano and Guiyang just behind. And it came down to a race for the finish line, with Li Yu coming home just seconds ahead of Gonzalez, with Lu just behind in third. So the bronze medal goes to China's Xu Ji-Lu. Mexico's Maria Guadalupe Gonzalez takes home the silver, and it's gold for Hong Li Yu from China.
It proves a lot to me because I've been doing this for more than 10 years, and for the past Olympic I only won like 4th place in the past Olympic game, but this time I'm trying my best to get a medal, and I'm glad that I can get the gold medal today. Bien, gracias.
I'm feeling good. I was hoping to win the gold medal, and I raced as hard as I could, and I gave it all. And I know that I could have pushed a little bit more, but I'm happy now, and for next time I will race harder.
Todavía tengo que trabajar más para poder lograr un mejor papel.
I think I gave it all. I could have attained the gold, but next time I will work harder, for sure.
All right, that was the 20-kilometer women's walk. Let's now have a look at a sport that's made its debut this year in the men and women's golf. And this is where we had both South African ladies representing us, Ashley Simon alongside Paula Rata. Unfortunately, not doing so well, but it was won for the very first time by Inbi Park of South Korea, who already has 7 majors under her back. And this time around, she goes home with a gold medal.
In the final round of the women's golf tournament, Inbi Park of the Republic of Korea started the day with a 2-shot lead. The 28-year-old former world number 1 almost didn't make the Olympics as she was out for 2 months with a broken thumb. But nothing seemed to faze her as she shot 7 birdies to extend her lead further. The round of the day belonged to the Russian Maria Verchinova. She had a hole-in-one on the 4th, and 9 birdies in all on her way to a course record of 62. Spare a thought for USA's Stacey Lewis, who finished 9 under par, ultimately just 1 shot off the medals. Had this putt on the 18th gone in, Lewis would have been in a playoff for bronze. China's Feng Shan signed for a 2 under 69 to finish at 10 under par. And the current world number 1, Lydia Ko, never got within striking distance of the overnight leader. But she needed to sink this putt on the 18th for 11 under and to ensure second place. With that, the 19-year-old became New Zealand's youngest ever female Olympic medalist. Park's progression to Olympic gold was serene, and she finished with a 66. At 16 under par for the competition, 5 shots clear of the field. So, Feng Shan finished with bronze, silver went to Lydia Ko, and winning gold was Park In-bi.
I feel extremely honored and extremely proud that I get a gold medal in the Olympic Games. This is something I've always been dreaming of, and this is true. It feels truly unreal, and just so happy to be standing on top of the highest spot in the podium and having a national anthem of our country coming out is such a special feeling. I've won many tournaments, but I've never felt this before, so it's great.
And the golf being back in the Olympics and you winning, what does this mean to you and for your country?
Well, I think we were hoping for 10th place finish this Olympic Games, and hopefully my gold medal will help our country to go in top 10. And I think golf is going to get more popular after a lot of people watching golf today. Even the people who doesn't like golf watch golf this week, so that's really good thing about it.
By the end of the second day, I wasn't in the greatest position, but, playing well the last 2 days, I know that has led me to, this point. I'm so proud of myself and, the team, for, getting this silver medal. It's a huge honor, and this is something I've always been dreaming about, and I can't believe it's come true. And, to see such a deserving gold medalist like Inbi, I think we have done something, for the game of golf, and just congrats both to Inbi and Shen.
And how would you describe this whole Olympic experience the last 4 days?
Before coming here, we've heard this, some negative press, but I think we've all proved, what an amazing week it was. I know it's an amazing week for golf, for the women's game, and it's everything. It's been everything, great. I've learned so much from this experience, and seeing the Kiwis here, I've loved every moment. So I can't believe the next one is in 4 years.
It's unbelievable because I came in the last round, with fourth place, and I knew that I would have a chance, but I didn't want to give myself any pressure, so I didn't look at the leaderboard the whole time, and I didn't know where I was at, and actually until I finished on the 18th, and then I asked my caddy, where am I? And he's like, you're T2. I was like, what? I got a medal. So, I'm still really happy, very excited, yeah.
Excellent. And what does this mean for you and your country leaving today as an Olympian medalist?
Well, China is a very strong country about Olympics. So I'm just one of the Chinese athletes that actually got a medal this time. But what makes it special is because I'm a golfer. It's the first time that golf is back in the Olympics after over 100 years. And I think it's the first time that a Chinese player is actually playing in it. So like I said before the tournament, I was like, if anybody from China can get a medal, that would be great. And actually I did it, yeah.
Well, the whole week's been amazing, just to be a part of the Olympics and to be here has been so much fun. And the golf course was fun to play, and we beat the weather, which was nice, and, had a pretty good result, too.
And you're here representing the U.S. for Golf Olympics. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's a huge honor only 2 or 3 girls are going to be here, and just to be one of those 2 is pretty special, and it's definitely an honor to represent the U.S. wherever we go.
It's been really awesome. Anytime you can come and represent your country, I think that's really special, and not the ending I wanted, but just taking a lot of positives away from it, and just having a blast.
And you said about taking positives away. What positives can you take away from these last 4 days?
Just coming over here and putting myself in the position to be in contention. That's just, that's all we really can ask for. And just today wasn't my day. And hats off to the girls that played awesome today. And, just going to just soak it all in. I'm in Rio. It can't be that bad.
And you're a golf Olympian. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to know that I'll be forever called the Olympian. So that's really awesome to take away from this week.
We also can't take away from our South African golfers. That's Ashley and Paolo. Really well done for being part of the team that made it to the first golf Olympic tournament at the 2016 Olympic Games. Time now to have a look at the highlights of the women cross country. This is mountain biking and cycling, where Sweden took a gold medal.
The mountain bike centre at the Diodoro Olympic Park played host to the women's mountain bike competition. The technically challenging course over 6 laps includes one of the longest cross-country climbs in the world. 29 riders lined up on the starting grid. Switzerland's Linda Indegand got off to a strong start, leading for the first 2 laps of the gruelling track. Francelina Cabral of Timor-Leste became the first rider to leave the race. She was too far behind the rest of the pack. Sweden's Jenny Rissveds was setting the pace in the 3rd lap, her legs working hard to power the bike over the uphill terrain. The top 3 separated from the chasing pack. Rounding the bend, Rissveds of Switzerland was still leading. Jolanda Neff of Switzerland was in 2nd, and Poland's Maja Wolkowska was 3rd. The lead alternated between Poland's Wolkowska and the Swedish athlete Rissveds several times. Canadian Catherine Pendrell made good ground and moved up into 3rd, but she wasn't in a position to challenge the leaders. Going into the downhill section, Sweden's Rissveds had a commanding lead. The Polish rider away behind her in 2nd place. At the finish, Rissveds was unchallenged. Her closest rival, Wolkowska, was a full 37 seconds behind her. The race for the bronze medal was closer. Canada's Catherine Pendrell kept checking to see where fellow Canadian Emily Batty was. In an event full of speed, endurance, skill and power, bronze went to Catherine Pendrell of Canada, Poland's Maja Wolkowska took silver, matching her finish in Beijing, and gold went to Jenny Rissveds of Sweden. Olympic champion! How does it feel?
I don't know. I can't believe it. It's just, I don't know what to say. I just came here 1 week ago. I was on the course on Wednesday and I crashed and ended up with 6 stitches in my knee and 4 stitches in my elbow, and I thought I thought this is not gonna work at all. Then the day after that, I went on the course and it felt so good. And I really liked this course, but I got a little bit scared after the crash. But then after a few laps, I just felt good again, and from there on, I just enjoyed the time here. And I just went on the start line today. I tried to focus on just to have some great fun and stay cool and just ride my bike, and ended up with a gold medal. It's just unbelievable.
How much does this mean to you, for your family, and for Sweden also?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I think this is for sure the biggest achievement in my career, and yeah, I want to thank my family and my Thomas Frischknecht from my team manager and all the boys in the team and the Swedish team and my trainer. I like to thank everybody. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing. That was an incredibly hard race, but I felt really good from the start. I was expecting that Jenny and Yolanda will be super strong today. At the beginning, I had the feeling that I'm a little bit better than them, but then when Jenny pushed, I was really suffering, but I managed to stay on her wheel, and then Yolanda got dropped. And then I still hoped for the victory, but she was just super strong today, and I was strong enough for the silver.
And you've been here before, of course, haven't you, with the silver?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy about the silver, that our Olympic Games, one race for 4 years, and there is so many strong girls. Before the race, I was counting about 13 girls who could win. So to be on the podium is just amazing. Of course, I wish to be on the first position.
You deserve that.
Of course, I hope for a victory like everybody, but silver is just amazing. That's my second medal at the Olympic Games, and I think it's something really, really special.
I feel amazing right now. Yeah, it's just kind of getting the body to calm down.
That was a tough one out there, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, I had a crash right on the start loop, and so I was fighting my way through traffic the entire time, and then had a bit of a mechanical lap one, and it just seemed like everything was not going my way, but I just kept fighting for it, and it paid off in the end.
And what does it mean to you and you personally and your family, do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, everybody knows how much goes into an Olympics, from my family to my support team, and I'm just so happy that it all came together on the day.
Give us some idea of the hard work and the hours that have gone into this to get here.
Yeah, you know, really doing this, it's a lifetime pursuit, and it's your lifestyle, and you know, feeling a little dizzy. You know, just everyone around you puts so much into this. It's emotional, it's physical, and it's just so nice to have the relief of to cross the line and to know you get to go celebrate it with everyone.
And to know it's for Team Canada, for your country, how deep does that run?
That's really great. You know, we always have your medal projections coming in, and it's really nice to know that I could contribute to Team Canada, and I think this is one of our most successful Summer Olympics, and I'm really happy to be a part of that.
This is super crazy for me. I mean, it's extreme for me, as I have done few races cross country, since 2013, but in Asia it's absolutely different. This is very extreme. I know even in Timor people already said I'm crazy, but I think here I'm nothing. People are more crazier than me. They are flying.
So you stopped the race before the end. What happened?
Because it's 80%. You know, if the first rider are closer to you, they will stop you. So that's the rule.
How were you feeling at that point?
I have to be honest. This is my, this is my power. I already do my best.
Rules have been rules at the Rio Olympic Games. Very strict refereeing and adjudication in terms of all the various sporting codes. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll only have 30 minutes just to give you a wrap of the day that was day 15.
Let's go!
official sponsor of the South African Olympic and Paralympic teams. Telkom, proud sponsor of Speed.
Ready to work from ABSA.
Get the Hospital Plus plan from Clientele. We pay up to 200,000 Rand cash per year. Cash, up to 20,000 Rand per stay. Plans start from 99 Rand per month. Annual hospital cover, paid as a lump sum per stay, plus daily cash, plus additional cover for accidental death, accidental disability, and dread disease. SMS cover to 42932 and we'll call you back.
Welcome back. You're watching SABC 2 as we're wrapping matters up from our Auckland Park studios. And let's now have a look at some of the highlights that came through from earlier athletics, the track and field events, including the pole vault, including as well the 4x100 meter men's final, where the Jamaicans also dominated that one with a gold medal performance.
The final in the men's 4x100 relay. Lots of anticipation of this event. Would Usain Bolt claim his 9th Olympic gold? Or would Jamaica be usurped by a very fast American team? A quick start from the Jamaicans, looking for clean changeovers to set up Bolt on the final stretch. It was fairly even through the first 3 legs. The U.S., Great Britain, Canada, and Japan were all in it. And then Bolt took the baton and did what only Bolt can do. A powerful performance, he surged forward, pulling away from the field. No mistake, another gold medal winning performance for Jamaica. Bolt has said this would be his last Olympics, and for him, this was an incredible finale. The Japanese team had an excellent relay to surprise the field for silver. Canada's Andre de Grasse had a strong final leg, but could not catch the U.S. The Americans were third across the line, but the relay can be an unforgiving event. Minutes after the race, the Americans discovered they had been disqualified for an infringement during one of the exchanges. That moved the Canadians up into the bronze medal position, Japan the silver, and Jamaica 4x100 relay gold.
It's brilliant. It's just unreal. It's surreal. It's a great feeling. I did extremely well. My team came through for me, which means a lot. I told these guys, I said, don't worry, we have your back, and they came through.
Was it ever in doubt?
No, as long as we got the baton around, it was never in doubt. We knew we were going to do well. We always do well when we run a good and solid run.
How have you dominated for so long?
It's just dedication. I've always wanted more. I was never satisfied with what I had. I always wanted more, and I kept on pushing myself because I wanted to be the greatest.
It means a lot, to come out here and win the gold medal tonight. I'm very excited to win the gold medal, but more excited that, I could help Usain to get his 3rd gold medal at this Olympic Games and add to his collection, So, I'm very proud of myself, very proud of my country, Jamaica, and, I love it.
Was it ever in doubt?
Well, no, it was never in doubt. We just wanted to hear that starting gun, just to get the ball rolling and, just get the stick around.
I'm happy now. Very happy there.
Yes, amazing.
How much did you expect it?
The start was good and leg 2 had good. Everything good, and it was very exciting. Oh, everything good? Yes, everything good.
We got bronze. I thought we actually ran a pretty good executed race all the way around. And, we had some luck on our side today. But I thought this was probably the best execution we had all year.
What does it mean?
This is it's incredible.
I'm proud of these guys. You know, we got to stick around. We executed. We came in with the national record. You know, like Akeem said, we had luck on our side. It's the second time this happened to us. World Championship last year, and now again on our Olympic debut. So it's just a great feeling that we came in with the bronze today.
How proud are you?
You know, I'm proud of these guys. We've been working hard all year. Everybody's come out and, you know, showed up when it was time, and, you know, we just did our job. So I'm very proud, you know, to represent my country and to represent these guys.
How do you feel?
I felt like we ran a great race. I felt like we could have medaled outright, but to get a medal regardless, we're happy and we'll take it. We ran a national record. Couldn't ask for more. Very happy.
Did you see what happened? Did you have an idea that something might change?
We actually thought Japan might, because that's what they were talking about, because they said on the last exchange they might have stepped on the line. But we saw the replay, and it looked like it was the first exchange with Mike Rogers and Gatlin. He might have stepped out of his lane. So it's part of the 4x1. You got to run clean, and we're fortunate that we're on the good side of the DQ, not the bad side like last time.
Will you take it?
We'll take it. We're happy.
The final in women's pole vault, a strong field of women. Some great heights were anticipated. 7 of the 12 competitors had cleared 4.8 meters already this season. American Jennifer Suhr, the gold medalist in this event at London 2012. And she would be disappointed with this. She had 3 tries at 4.7 meters, but could not clear. She was out of the competition. From the 34-year-old veteran to a new bright light in this sport, 19-year-old Eliza McCartney of New Zealand was having a near-perfect night. Over the bar on her first attempt, right up to this at 4.8, a personal best and a national record. She could not take it any further, failing on all 3 attempts at the next height. She would finish with bronze. 2 others were successful at 4.85. Sandy Morris, the indoor world champion, up and over elegantly at her second attempt, and Ekaterini Stefanidi of Greece. Due to fewer misses earlier in the competition, this jump would put her into the gold medal position, and she cleared it beautifully to become Olympic champion. So bronze to McCartney, silver to Sandy Morris of the USA, and gold for Stefanidi of Greece.
I have been pole vaulting since I was 10 years old. It's been 16 years, and I still haven't realized what has happened.
How much does it mean to have the gold medal?
It's crazy. I can't even find words to describe how I feel. It's amazing. The crowd was amazing. My parents were here. My husband was here, so I'm very happy.
How proud do you think your family will be of you?
I think they're going to be very excited. Both of them were athletes, so I think they understand it even more.
It means the world to me. I've been dreaming about this day since I was a little girl, and to come out here and win a medal at my first Olympics means the world to me. I couldn't have expected anything more, and I'm just so happy and blessed.
Tell me what you had to overcome in order to reach the podium today.
There were a lot of tough competitors out there today. I mean, you had to make things on first attempts, and I knew that it would come down to at least 485 or 490 to get gold or silver, and that's what happened. And you know, to get silver but be so close to gold, I never thought that I would be a little bit disappointed with silver, but I was so close on my last attempt at a bar that would have taken the gold, so I'm like, I tasted it for a split second, but I really can't be upset. I got a silver medal in the Olympics, and it's my first go around. I'm only 24 years old, and I'm just so blessed to be here.
My God, it means a lot. I wasn't exactly expecting this, and I mean, a bronze medal, I don't even know what to say. I'm so happy.
And at 19 years of age, how did you do it?
I don't know. I'm just so happy with how I jumped, and I jumped like the best I possibly could, and I think that's what makes me so happy.
What do you think your family will think of what you've just done?
They're all here to support me, and just having them all here just makes it so special. I couldn't imagine it without them, and I'm just so glad they're here.
Many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Adrenaline has definitely taken over there. She's just so happy, the New Zealander, with her jumps. Let's now shift focus as we wrap up 8 days of great athletics on the track and field events, and have a look at the highlights of the canoe. It was the men's final in the kayak single 200 meter where a gold medal went to Great Britain, but a bronze medal was split between Germany and Spain.
The final of the men's kayak single 200 metres at Lagoa Stadium. Great Britain's Liam Heath in lane 5, looking to add to the silver medal he had already won over this distance in the double kayak. Maxime Beaumont of France in lane 4 was one of the fastest to qualify from the semi-finals. Beaumont sped off quickly, surging ahead of his opponents. By halfway, Heath was making his move. Spain's Saul Craviato, silver medalist in this event from London 2012, in lane 7, and Germany's Ronald Rau in lane 3 were the other two in medal contention. But there was only going to be one winner. Heath crossed the line to clinch a memorable gold. Beaumont, exhausted, had to settle for silver. Confirmation that Craviato won a bronze. Rau devastated to miss out. Or had he? A photo finish was called for. The news taking its time to filter through to the German. Identical times, so 2 bronze medals awarded. One to Saul Craviato of Spain, the other to Ronald Rau of Germany. Maxime Beaumont of France won the silver medal. And Liam Heath becomes the second British person to win gold in this event.
You know, you think about everything you've put in and everyone who supported you along the way and all the effort they've put in, and to be able to justify it like that, it's that sudden influx of emotion. You try and keep yourself away from it and keep focused on what you want to do, but then it just hits you. It's overwhelming, it really is.
You've won a silver here, now a gold. How does it feel?
Incredible, absolutely incredible. We came into the games knowing that we were in pretty good shape. Alex, our coach, has put a master plan in place over the last 4 years, which has seen us steadily progress and stay in the mix with the guys who have pushed the sport on over the last 4 years. And you know, at times the programme seemed a bit crazy, but he's a thinker and he puts it all on paper, works it out meticulously. From this day, he works back, so you're ready for this day, and it's absolutely incredible.
I feel a little sad because I would like to win, but Liam is better than me, so congrats to him. I'm happy for him because it's a good guy, and I think maybe after a few hours I feel better, but for the moment I am sad.
Muchos nervios.
I was very nervous, but once my name showed up at the screen, I was very happy.
Muy nervioso, pero bueno, muy contento, muy contento. La medalla del K1 no la esperaba. Yo me había centrado.
I didn't expect this one. It's almost like a present. It's much more than I could have dreamed for.
Más de lo que había soñado.
Unbelievable. So it was definitely my last Olympic Games. So I wish so much to get a medal, and now I have it on my neck. So I'm really, really happy.
So now you retire, but with a smile.
I'm retired, but with a smile. I'm not pretty sure if I not pedal next year, so I will decide it in the next 2 weeks. But definitely my last Olympics, and yeah, I'm really, really happy.
At the end there was confusion about who won. Did you feel that you actually had won it before you got out of the boat?
No, I was really unhappy at first because I saw my name in the 4th place, and I had a good race. So I was with my result, not with my performance. I was really happy, but the 4th place was not that one I wished, so I was unhappy. And then my coach said, "Okay, you're third, and you have two third places, and that's cool."
The Lagoa Stadium, the setting for the final of the women's kayak 500 metres. Hungary, the defending champions in lane 4, the favourites. Part of their crew, Danuta Kozak, who'd already won 2 golds at Rio 2016, hoping to make history. Germany, their main rivals in lane 6, a nation who'd dominated this event for 20 years, up until Hungary's victory in London. Germany appeared to have the better start, but at halfway it was Hungary who were nudging ahead. Russia were in 3rd place, but this was a battle between Hungary and Germany for gold. Surely Hungary couldn't be caught. They weren't, as they retained their title ahead of Germany. While Belarus pipped Russia to bronze. The podium was a repeat of London 2012, as Belarus claimed the bronze. Germany again won silver. While Danuta Kozak became the first woman to win 3 gold medals in canoe sprints at an Olympic Games, as Hungary were the Olympic champions once again.
I'm extremely happy. I think I need some time until I believe it, and after some time I will believe that no other woman has done it before. It was a perfect track. It was like a fairy tale, and I'm very, very happy that it's over.
So happy. It was a good race, and we are all in the front of the race very nervous, and now we go home with a medal and delivers a new gold.
How did you control your nerves if you were nervous before the start?
I don't have any control about this. I don't know. I hear all the time music and want to chill, but it's not possible. So, yeah.
And how are you feeling about this medal?
We are so happy. It was the strongest race we have done in this year and in the last year. So we are so proud and so happy that we can manage this success here.
It's really great. It's a medal, still an Olympic medal. It's really great, really cool. Considering the circumstances, considering we're here without a coach and all our boys have been disqualified, it's really important for us to have achieved this result. It really matters a lot.
Women doing it for themselves there. But let's now have a look at this match. It's a hockey match, and it was Great Britain as they took on the Netherlands.
The gold medal match in women's hockey. Great Britain had won every game on their way to the final. The Netherlands trying to make history with a 3rd consecutive gold. The goal scoring went back and forward. Britain took the lead through Lily Owsley. But the Dutch were soon in front, Marcia Pauwman doing all she could to secure her 3rd gold medal. The Netherlands were leading going into the final quarter, but Britain scored a late equaliser from Nicola White to make it 3-3, and that meant the match would be decided by a penalty shootout. Great Britain's goalkeeper Maddie Hinch was unbeatable, and her heroics led to an opportunity for Holly Webb to win it. She took her chance to make history. So, it's bronze for Germany. After golds in Beijing and London, the Netherlands take silver here at Rio 2016 for the first time ever in women's Olympic hockey. It's gold for Great Britain.
I don't think I can really put it into words yet. It hasn't really sunk in. I don't really know what's happened, but I'm so proud. I'm so proud of all the girls that played tonight. There's 31 of us that train every single day for this for 4 years, and all of them deserve a gold medal. It's a real shame that we can't give them all one, but they all deserve one. And without them, we wouldn't be here, because they push us every day to be here. So massive, massive, massive shout out to them and thank you to them. And then I'm so proud to be British, so proud to be part of Team B. I'm so proud of this right now. And if that has just inspired anyone to pick up a hockey stick, any age, any gender, anyone can get involved, then our job has been done. It's more than just this gold medal. It's about the sort of ripple and getting hockey in the public eye back home, and the support from back home has just been absolutely incredible.
I think we played a really good game. We controlled the whole game, created a lot of chances, and then it ends with silver. It's not what we were coming for, and really disappointed.
Rather disappointed there, but let's leave it there and get the latest from Romy Titus. A very last good morning from Let's Go Rio Olympic Games 2016, Romy.
Yes, but we'll continue to use that hashtag tomorrow, Lebu. It is the closing ceremony, and I think we also should say well done, Rio. A part, I think, I beg your pardon, from Ryan Lochte's story that he came out and said he exaggerated and they weren't really taken, you know, at gunpoint, as he said. I think well done, Rio, for doing a sterling job.
Yeah. All right, and just in closing, anything else? Obviously, before we say goodbye to you, but I think Romy is dealing with a cough there. But before we have to say goodbye to you. All right, okay, Romy just has a bit of a cough. So that'll have to be that for now. Let's have a look at the medal table. The USA leading by 116, 43 gold medals, and Great Britain on 66. South Africa, 27th position on 10 now gold medals. And these are the athletes and how they received the gold medals. We'll go into detail on this tomorrow. I'm Lebo Motswedi for SABC Sports. Let's do this again tonight as we wrap matters up. That is 2016 Rio Olympic Games.